Good morning, everybody. Big party time on Wednesday. Welcome back to another episode of WhaleWatch, where we trade unusual whales tools, take live trades, scalping futures, trading options. Anthony had some weird shit happen in the background, and I need to fix his camera again. Hold on.
Yeah, I was like, why is there a black bar on? There you go. I thought there was like something.
No,
sticking
it
out
wasn't
of,
on your
like...
side.
Okay,
No.
okay.
It was a good old-fashioned example of every single app that we use for the show deciding to not work the same. That's why Tucker has two little black bars next to his camera, too.
Nice.
Well, yeah, yours are literally just little guys, though. Just little guys.
Yeah, we're just guys. Don't worry. No one's worried.
Except my coffee quick. We're going to do about an hour and some change of our normal show. We're going to do some flow reviews and take a couple of trades if the opportunities present themselves, but we're not going to force it because we have a short little session this morning before we're going to be joined by the mentalist Wayne Hoffman, who also has a lot of experience doing public speaking, applying human habits, human psychology, etc., to the area of finance. And I think we're going to have him on at around 10:30 Eastern. He's going to go through some of that spiel. We'll bounce back and forth, riff, do some questions, and we'll see if he can fuck with Anthony's mind a little bit as well for the fun aspect of that. So that'll
There's
be
nothing there
dope.
there's nothing there to fuck with.
But generally speaking, your habits and everything are directly applicable to everything you do in any field. And we're going to apply that tack to trading. And I think it's going to show a little bit how telling your tendencies might be by messing with Anthony a bit.
I made sure to not sleep a single minute last night, so
Yay.
I would be absolutely unreadable to him.
Okay.
Not sleep. That's not true. This guy.
I feel like Tucker
Obviously,
can
yeah.
read you. I don't even think it takes the mentalist to get Anthony to read.
Tucker couldn't read a book. Tucker's like Mayweather. Tucker, I will donate $500,000 to charity if you can read a Dr. Seuss book.
Well, today I learned that the show is the equivalent of 50 Cent versus Floyd Mayweather. It's the same thing. But what we could do right away, right out of the gate, let's go ahead and start looking at flow right away. We've got 15 minutes till the market opens. That's plenty of time to look at some flow. And again, we're not going to force a trade just to force a trade. We're going to keep it nice and chill before our guest comes on and we discuss a little bit about trading in a bad mindset, because I've got myriad examples of that. But we'll go ahead and dive into that at 10:30 Eastern this morning, and I'll save all my spiels for then. So I'm going to flip over to your camera. Anthony, what the hell are we looking at on your screen, buddy?
Oh, got the open interest. And one of these days, I need to redo some of my filters, so I think that could be a good pre-market thing we do. I got to redo some of my open interest and some of my kind of other filters, so that could be a little thing we could do one of these days. But yeah, and look at that. We got our favorite SpaceX guy coming in here. Look at that. 121% out of the money. Weeklies again, 710, 320, 330. Yeah, I don't know what to even say about these anymore. Just don't fall for this stuff. Don't fall for this stuff. They're building a call selling position almost. Look at that. That's just odd. I mean, it's pretty much all of it's carrying over every single day. Plot twist, they cure cancer on Mars, and then just we all look stupid.
It's been the same plot twist every time you see this ticker. Is there ever any other plot?
No.
Does anyone have cancer on Mars?
Maybe. You don't know.
Hey, maybe that,
I didn't know anyone was up there, bro.
That Mars dust might get you.
Mars dust.
Anyway,
the 330 there, then that 320 also being hit there. That 320 is just a brand new opener, though. Yeah, I mean, don't fall for this stuff. Don't fall for this stuff at all.
Sneaky.
I mean, look at the theta on these things. I mean, they're 6 cents. Contracts are 10 cents. I mean, they're going to be worthless at open. They barely have a delta. It's junk. I did see some of those on the bid side though for once instead of the ask side. Let me just hop over to the bid side here.
What he's saying is you can pretty comfortably deduce that a contract and strike like that probably being sold to open rather than bought.
Yeah, I mean, 9 days out, 200% out of the money. You know, I think it's safe to go out on a limb and say it's probably a sell there. I mean, I wouldn't trade it seriously. So, yeah. But other than that, let's actually see if we have anything interesting that carried
We do have a
over.
direct request for something that may have gotten some action. Cody calls for
Yeah.
January of 2028 from Gambling Guru on the Twitter.
Yeah, let's take a peek here.
Calls.
For 128. All right, let's just go. Cody, 120, 128. I'm going to guess it's a 7 call there. Would be my guess there. These look like they've been kind of sitting in here for a while. This open interest has been sitting in here since. Ooh, it's been a while.
Oh, wow.
Oof.
Did we get the strike right, Gambling Guru?
Yeah, double check that. But I mean, it looks like that's kind of the only one. If I go back here, let's go back to Cody. Let's look at the review on it.
Cody, 128. Yeah.
So 128.
Yeah, let's see if we got any open interest sticking.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of open interest on, the 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 there. Well, we can take a peek at them. Why not? Let's see.
Looks like a lot of longer-term build-up on these. I'm not seeing anything directly from the last few weeks or so. And it can get kind of hard with these really long-term contracts as well. The 50-cent calls. Those are in the money AF. He says the 50-cent calls.
50 cent. Was that the one that...
No, that's the 7.
Oh,
the 50 cent are way in the money.
Do we even have... Let's see. Let's go back here. Let's just go look at our highest open interest.
It's the top one. There's 100 open interest on the 50-cent strike. And it also seems to be sitting in there for a while. It looks like 630. We got a little bit of action. 40 came in at the bid. Could be protective puts. Could be protective puts. But when it's literally a year and a half away, it gets harder and harder and harder to ascertain what's going on, especially in deep in the money contracts like that. Could be just trying to bag some shares at some point by selling those puts. Hard to say when they're this far out. But that 40 volume did carry over. It did appear to be short. So that's, information to have. I don't know that I would garner any real directionality from something that's that deep in the money, though.
Yeah, it's all interesting. Flo is kind of looking at that open interest. They all seem like they're position builders. I mean, this one's a position builder for sure. Carrying over. Doesn't look like we've had anything substantial in here. Another maybe ad there. Obviously, we don't know if it's the same person, but educated guess, I'm going to say the trades are probably related. Again, carry over. All that, 100% of that volume carrying over. 100%. Pretty much 100%. Yeah, so, I mean, whatever's going on here, it's kind of being built. And this is a 2026, so, I mean, it's this year. I mean, that's interesting. Very interesting. I don't know how the heat zones look. Actually, I want to look at the premiums on this. Yeah, this thing doesn't get a lot of action. Just kind of look at that gamma on it. Yeah, I mean, your heat zones all kind of favor a little upside here. I mean, here's your spot price. All your positive gammas above us there. Absolute gamma's at 3. I mean, yeah, it's interesting there. Kind of a slower mover there too, with being under $5 for sure. Yeah, I'd say it's more interesting than kind of directional there, at least for me. Yeah, that's kind of a interesting find, something to kind of keep an eye on there, maybe over some time. Let's head back to the open interest here, unless you got any other contracts. But how about these Met C 82112 calls? I don't know when we have earnings though.
Zoomed in.
Oh boy, what is going on? That's terrifying. Tucker, are you seeing that?
Why is this happening?
Yeah, I saw it.
zooming in on
Yeah,
the
yeah.
top of my head. Let's see if
Are
I
you
can
terrified
fix
too?
that shit.
I just thought he was like big all the time, you know?
All right, we're good.
Weird.
I had to get up to
That
fix
was-
my fan because it wasn't pointing at me at all, and I'm getting sweaty.
That
Anyway,
was
open interest change, Met C.
Anyways, yeah, so this kind of look at all the weird little hits on this one here. This was I saw these yesterday and double check that open interest, especially with all that kind of sporadic volume there. But yeah, most of that carried over there. Probably not going to get a super clean read on the flow since there's so much of it, so much of that volume in there. Take a look for the fun of it there. Does overlap earnings, yeah. A lot of that flows overlapping earnings. Now, there obviously we don't know if it's earnings related, if they're looking for a move post earnings, pre earnings, so on. So just kind of keep that in mind.
Those of you joining on Twitch, yes, I'm stupid and messed up the notification. That's a notification from like 2023 when I was running tests. So no, this episode's not a test, I promise. Stupid.
Yeah, there's not too much context in that flow. I mean, your IV's just kind of bouncing around throughout there, fills at the ask. I'd probably lean buy it open. I mean, 3% out of the money, 40 days, 44 days. You do have overlap earnings though, but yeah, just interesting flow there. Anything else? Anything else? Yeah, flow was pretty quiet yesterday for me. I didn't
No,
really
if you
have
ask the
much.
masses, every single piece of flow this week has been extremely interesting.
Yeah, I had
There have been some sneakers
Little-
that snuck through, but yeah, people are a little too posty. I think this week.
What did I
saw your
have?
shade throw. I saw your shade throw post.
Yeah. Yeah, like I don't understand how you find 30 pieces of flow. Like
Everything is
It just-
playable.
just hey, let's just post 1,000 pieces of flow and then just cherry pick a couple winners. That's kind of it. Those Walmart
If
puts
wrong,
were
we'll
a
delete.
little- Yeah. Well, no, we don't even delete. We just don't even talk about it anymore. And we just say, well,
Just moving on.
it looked good. It looked good.
I'm trying to fix
Anyways,
my stupid ass hair and it's not working. It's all flippy and shit.
yeah,
You
I
keep
was
going.
looking at
I'm
these
just gonna beauty myself.
the Walmart puts here yesterday. I know there was a little news around Walmart too. I think it was what was yesterday? Tuesday, Monday evening. I think Trump was like, Walmart's gonna lower all their prices
cutting,
on
yeah.
food or something, and it's like,
They're making it seem like a big deal, but I bet you the lowering of prices still won't get it down to pre-COVID levels.
No.
Because as
No.
everyone knows, guess what? If prices go up, regardless of the reason, be it inflation, an entire universal shutdown of the country, doesn't really matter. Those prices never go back down. They don't.
Nope.
It's not.
Nope.
And if anything, you'll end up just start getting less for what you pay while you pay more. It's good stuff. Don't get me started
so I'm
on
gonna
beef.
get
Holy shit.
even gonna get less in a bag of chips, man. Actually, funny thing is,
Dude, it's like
speaking
it's
about
air chips.
yeah, don't you just hate when you get chips in your bag of air that you buy? Like that just bothers the shit
Yeah,
out of me,
dude.
man.
Too many.
Yeah,
chips
I'm
in
a
there.
fan. I'm a fan of Frito Lay for their
Jeez,
air.
Tucker. Oof.
What happened?
Yeah, your microphone is
That
tuned.
was loud. That was loud.
I didn't do anything different.
I'm just gonna see if I have
He
any
can't-
control over that.
He came in here aggressive, man.
I'm gonna hide Anthony for half a second.
I didn't do anything different. I don't know.
I can't. That's crazy. Weird. I don't fucking
Weird.
know, dude. It's only yours too.
Okay, should I just be more quiet?
Yeah, just like whisper.
That's just creepy then.
Welcome
That's
to
just
WhaleWatch
creepy.
ASMR. All right, we got a direct contract from our man Joe as well. After you're done with,
Oh yeah.
Oh,
after you're done with
yeah,
Walmart,
I'll get
unless
that
you are
for
done
you.
with Walmart.
Walmart's. Yeah, those. I mean, they had a nice IV spike when that flow came in. Spots filling up the ask. Nothing really to kind of make me hate it. A little IV drop at the end, but your price kind of dropping as well there. So could be the reason why, but I'd probably lean buy to open on those still.
It's
All
the
right, let's
vibe
take a
I'm
peek
getting.
at the contract. Let's take a peek at the contract. Ooh, it
Hey,
looks like
no
we got
self
a
promo.
no sider.
Muted. Fuck out of here, man.
So looks like we got a no sider here, and I do want to look at that 7.6 as well. There's a
Pretty much
Interest-
full carryover 2 days in a row that I can see on the
Yeah.
bottom of your screen. Yep, those are
Yep.
just the two. Those are the two. Wonder if we got a double tap or two separate homies. The first one's the
Yeah,
organic flow, and the second
Yeah.
one was our man, a Joe named Joe, who shared the contract. That's what I'm looking at right here.
Yeah, I like that first day of flow because you actually have a side on this one. This is a big no sider here.
Hey, that's not fear. Asked why Tucker's yelling. For
Ooh,
the
and
first
it is
time in history, they're asking why someone other than I am yelling.
and Tucker to be the one to yell out at everybody too. Like, yeah, the little guy in the corner is just yelling at everybody.
Enbis.
Yeah, I kind of like that first chunk of flow coming in here, but here it is. You got a cross trade and it's multi-leg involving share. So I mean, that's not something I like seeing there. It's
Is
kind
that
of a
the
toss.
case with the second fill? Like, are both fills multi-leg involving shares, or just that one 5,000 size?
It looks like it's just the 1/5000 size.
Interesting, because we've got
Ye-
double that amount of volume for the day,
Yep.
both days. So I almost
Yep.
wonder if that
Almost.
fiber is unrelated to the rest of the day's flow.
Yeah, that's a toughie there. I mean, I was gonna say I like that first day on the 6th there where it's all a big chunk of ask side
Those are
coming in,
pretty
most
out
of
of
that
the money,
carried
too.
over. Yeah, it's a toughie. Do we have when do we have earnings on this thing?
Man. I
Earnings
wonder.
in 29. Ooh.
I wonder if it's more likely we're looking at a collar here, especially since we know at least that 5,000 volume there involves shares in a multi-leg transaction. I almost wonder if these were shorted to protect downside of shares,
That's
which would
tough. Let me
be
go
covered
back.
calls, could be part of a collar. Hard to tell. The way the transactions come in would almost make me lean BTO, but given
Yeah,
the time, and I mean, it's not crazy out of the money, but NBIS is trading at 193 in pre-market today. Yesterday, oh shit, they took a hit,
yeah,
huh? Because these were in
Yes,
the
it was.
money as soon as a week ago. NBIS was trading at 235 on the 2nd.
Yeah,
And 220s on the 6th. Ooh, that's a toughie.
That's a big drop there too. I mean,
Joe, why you gotta give us the hard
that's-
shit, man? Throw us easy balls.
trying to make us think in the morning, trying to make
How
us use our brains.
Dare you?
That's man.
I mean, we're getting somebody who can really read your brain in about an hour. Why you gotta make us read brain?
There ain't gonna be any brain left for him to read when he gets in here. So
I woke up as
man,
a drooling ape. I can't do shit.
I think I almost want to agree with you. I think these might have been shorted, man. I mean, it's hard to know. It's tough. I mean,
Yeah, when it's an outright no side like that, cross trade even, it gets harder to read. But the fact that these are involving shares right around a major dump and so close to expiration, I hope for this trader that these were not long. That would hurt a lot.
Yeah, that's...
What were you thinking on this ugly thing, Joe?
Yeah, see what Joe's thinking on that one while I refresh my stuff since we are open.
I get the vibe
Open.
that it's short, man. Oh, holy shit, we ripping off the open. Good morning, NASDAQ. It just ripped 127 points right out of the gate there in the first 2 minutes. Rejecting a little bit now, but not a spot I want to put a trade on in either direction here.
All right, let's
personally.
Oh yeah, we're kind of in no man's land right now. We'll let her settle for a little bit. Ooh, there's a but look at all that downside positioning too.
Yeah.
That I'm curious to see if we drop off a little bit. There's not much left to the upside here. I mean, we're pretty much, besides our negative gamma, which you can still get to kind of move up through that there, but man, Yeah, I'm waiting a couple updates for sure on this one because that's a big range. I mean, that is a 75.40 to 73.15 range. That's a massive range there. I'm
Massive range.
being patient today. They're slapping
I know.
They're slapping FSLR.
And we have about, an hour to mess around. So folks, as people trail in, we're getting some more homies joining in on Twitter as well. So as we go along for the next hour or so, going to be kind of a vibe morning because we have a guest joining us in about an hour, like I said, where we're going to go over how your tendencies and your psychology apply and affect dramatically, let me tell you, your trading and your trading performance. So we're just kind of hanging out. Make some flow requests. If there's any flow you want to take a look at, any contracts you saw earlier this week that you want a breakdown of, feel free to drop those in. We did get another one from our man Joe as well on DAL.
Cool. Let's take a peek at that. Hey, Delta has earnings on Friday too.
Yes, sir.
I was taking a peek here. I saw those FSLRs hit right away. Look at that bid-ask spread and look at where that fill is. Just it's a mid-fill pretty much.
Yeah, pretty smack dab in the middle. Tucker dropped that new contract for you in the show chat.
I got him right there. I got him right there. Nope, this one.
I bet you do.
Delta Airline put. So probably from yesterday. A little teeny tiny whale, not anything that's bad. 164K. It's an opening trade yesterday, so we have earnings obviously on Friday. So I will kind of take the flow with a grain of salt with earnings, but as kind of looking at it here, you get a nice IV spike when that flow comes in. Spot is filling at the ask. Kind of a little goofy, so it's still, I was going to say that order book kind of got goofy there. I've seen this a lot more recently too, just where that bid ask has been the same. I don't know it's
how it's reported.
It's the reporting,
feels, man.
yeah.
Yep.
It's just been a lot more often than
the
normal.
prior
I mean,
context
I've seen it
is useful. Did these happen to start higher than 430 and then descend? I think it would be dope. Damn, it'd be dope to see like 435, 430, 425.
Yeah, then it kind of
that would give me a little bit more of a lean to see if they are trailing into a short here. But on these fills, it's kind of hard. I would almost lean long. We do get a little bit if you scroll all the way to the bottom. As these orders start filling, the very first order in that exact timestamp, we do have a bump in implied with barely any movement in the underlying stock price.
No. Actually,
it's not like
a drop in your price too, which is kind of nice to see. Yeah,
because there is a 2-minute gap there. A lot could have happened in that time span. Granted, the price is only 4 cents cheaper. But we do get that little pop in IV, I suppose.
Get a little drop here.
Dramatic.
There's your descending fill there. Yeah, right there. Send below the
I'm leaning long on these, honestly.
I would too. I don't know how we do for earnings for Delta. Let me not Gamma. Jeez, see where I'm.
Old habits. Well, new habits have become old. Oh, damn, dude, they're usually right in line with their implied.
Yeah.
But when they go outside of it, they go outside of it.
You get a good move. Speaking of names that are always inside of it, yeah, and Joe, it's tough with earnings. I'd probably lean buy to open on those, though. I mean,
and it's not like they're crazy out of the money, right?
No, they were where are we? 1% out of the money.
And they're far enough out that even though we have earnings, generally speaking, those binary events will cause inflated implied volatility, a little bit more priciness in the options market in anticipation for that event. With something like this, it's far enough dated that the implied volatility isn't really syncing up with that binary event, because this earnings is happening in 2 days. Those contracts are for August.
Yeah.
And on top of that, you can see the implied volatility is much lower because there's much more time on these. I want to say, just because of the proximity to earnings, that this might be an earnings play, but then
it's
getting
hard
a whole
to know.
month out, it's a little bit harder to know, especially how close to the money it is. This could be a quickie. Hey, maybe we get a nice little knife shot. But the benefit they have with this time is, unlike the weeklies that are directly overlapping earnings, they don't have that high, super high implied volatility. So if the stock doesn't blow outside of its implied move, like you kind of need it to, with shorter dated contracts that overlap earnings, these are going to take a little bit less of a hit than those.
Let's see how that
You know, I bet if we look at strikes that expire this week, there's going to be significantly higher implied volatility than 47%. But the
Yeah.
price in move is really small, and it looks like that's the
Let's
pattern for
see.
DAL. The implied move's only a
Let's just
couple of
take-
percent there.
Yeah, look at your weekly. You're
Yeah.
over 100%
Yeah,
there. So
yeah.
I mean,
So these are
it's
gonna
not
take
like
a
a
hit.
Tesla.
Yeah, those are the ones that you really needed to move outside of the implied move to really garner anything from it. But those short-term ones, not really an issue. We're not doing that shit consistency spike. No.
Yeah, and I'm looking at that post earnings move too. I mean, more historically, over the last since 2024, obviously it can change. It's every earnings period's different. Everything CEO says different things during the call, all that fun stuff. It's favored the upside post earnings move there. So that makes it tough. That makes it tough. It's again, earnings, you just got to be okay losing 100% of what you put into
Yeah,
it.
earnings
That's
for
kind
me
of
is just it's a scratch card.
Yeah.
You really need moves on earnings, like truly. It's a lottery. Not only that it's going to move in your direction, but it's going to move in your direction substantially enough to drive contract price movement, despite that really high implied volatility. The implied volatility is going to work against you way more than it's going to help you on contracts that overlap earnings like that. Because if it moves in your direction, it has to move substantially for those to gain value, but it doesn't have to move at all for them to lose value. So you got to be careful with those. Those are straight up lotteries, size small if you're going to play earnings like that. Those of you just coming in on Twitter, hang around, folks. In a little less than an hour, we will have our guest, Wayne Hoffman, pretty renowned mentalist, does a lot of routines, mind tricks, illusions, and he also applies those human habits, cold reads, general psychology to finance, and we're going to apply it today to trading. So stick around, hang out with us, talk some shit in chat for the next hour or so, and we'll get into that. It should be pretty entertaining. I'm going to see if he can make Anthony cry.
Speaking of crying here, let me
Speaking of
yeah,
crying.
no, that's an interesting one though, Joe. I'd probably lean by to open on those.
Coach Sam, we will get to that one next, homie. Don't you fret.
Yeah, let me pop up what Sam dropped here.
I think there is a direct contract that he's sitting in, so we'll start with that one, the one Tucker shared. But then we can kind of just do an overall ticker read on that one too, because I don't know if he entered that trade on flow or not. He just happened to mention what position he's in. Yep, this is what he's in. It looks like we did have some flow on the 6th.
Yeah, let's go back here and take a peek. Let's go back here and take a peek.
I don't know if those are long, however.
I'm gonna probably just kind of off the bat how far they are out of the money.
50% out of the money would be a
kinda,
hell of a pop. Let's pop that open. I'm leaning that these were short. They're pretty out of the money. They're really short dated. We've got jacked to the tits implied volatility. Now, that said, IV is rising into those fills. Look at that. It's kind of all over the place a little bit, but price is static. These fills are all over the place.
Off, yeah.
And so is IV. We can't trust implied volatility here. This is some intraday shenanigans with the implied volatility just by way of it being high. These prices are fluctuating without much price action happening. That's already a toughie read. But they're so far out of the money and so short dated. I'd be leaning short still.
Yeah,
and
the
biggest order, yeah.
Is it the bid there?
Yep,
Yeah.
and a pretty that's a much more dramatic drop in implied volatility. If you go back down there, right at that order, it dropped below 110%, and that's like the only time it happened that it went below 110% IV.
And I'm kind of just looking at the the bigger sized parts that are coming in. Again, that timing's not all the same either. It's very sporadic.
Yeah,
I don't get a good feeling about this one there. Again, I mean, you got your spot filling below at the bid there on kind of your quote bigger size there. I almost want to lean short and just kind of looking at how that contract plays out too.
That
Look at the
theta's gotta be
theta on
jacked,
those.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's
and-
going to lose 50% of value just by way of time each day. All else
yeah,
equal,
that's-
assuming price doesn't move. Does that mean they're not long? No, there's no guarantee that they're not long. But given that fill price, the way they filled, the drop in implied volatility on the largest order of the series of orders, the fact that it's 32% out of the money and a weekly that expires next week, you're going to need a very dramatic move just to get
Big
those break
pop.
even to the fill that they came in on, because they came in at almost $1 per contract, and now they're at 10 cents. So, Coach Sam, if you got into those on the day the flow hit thinking long, you might be taking some heat on these. I'm leaning that these were shorted. You can even see if you scroll up into that heat zone, and I'm sure Anthony will break this down too, they kind of already hard rejected that wall in May and June. And now they're kind of trailing into that negative gamma zone. But I'll let you touch on that one, Anthony.
Yeah, you kind of already broke it down for me. Yeah, I mean, we're down a little bit there. Yeah, and just kind of looking at at least the shorter term gamma here. I mean, 135 days out obviously doesn't really apply to that specific contract, but even just kind of, I mean, that's your only expiration there with any kind of, heavy positive gamma above it there, besides that, 2/19/2027, which probably don't care about too much there.
Pretty far
I
out.
just
That is
ki-
very subject to change in that
Y-
amount of
yeah,
time.
yeah. I mean, just kind of looking at the short dated ones, the 8/21 there, which obviously those expire before there, but that 7/17, yeah, you got a lot of negative gamma below us there. We don't have any really positive gamma above us there. I don't have the best feeling on that one there. Your daily gamma's been kind of decreasing. And yeah, you're in the middle of the call wall and put wall there. Put wall's way down there at 87.5. So I would be very cautious with those ones, especially with how far they are out of the money. And again, I mean, they kind of like Nick was saying, they could technically be long, and the whale knows something, but the likelihood, you can't just bet on, hey, a news drop's coming on the name and hold them to zero. Like I would not want to hold contracts to expiration or let them drop that much there, because like we had those. You remember those now contracts from like a couple?
Oh, yeah.
What's it like?
Yeah.
They were down like 90%, and then you get a big news drop. Like, yes, it can happen, but the likelihood of it makes it tough. And you don't want to, if you're dropping 3-4 grand on a position, like you don't want to lose all that and just kind of sit out on the hopium that, hey, there's going to be a news drop or something. Like, you got to manage your risk, because you don't know what these people are doing. And I mean, especially this one's a lot trickier there. But yeah, I'd probably lean short on these calls, especially just kind of the way that they've been going there, and with how far they are on the money.
Open. We have a little bit of a contract handoff that happened yesterday, but only 200 contracts. And there were already more than 200 open interests, so we can't even be certain that that's the trader that opened the 1,000 contracts, because there was more than 200 open interests before they entered the fray. So I don't know that the 231 that transacted yesterday are necessarily related. It could be someone else going for a premium grab as well. They only got $18 per contract on those. Only 21 open interest fell off. So some of the current open interest as of yesterday did trim, but not a whole lot.
Yeah, and that volume from 762, you didn't even get that full carryover. It makes it really tough there to know who's doing what in there, who's holding, who's not. Yeah, it's a good example though. It's a very good example there of just kind of looking through that flow there. All right, I'm gonna take a peek at Periscope there. So I don't think we did that. Yeah, so Sam, yeah, I would just kind of be a little cautious if you're still in those. Just kind of.
If he's still in those, he's already dead. If he got in on that day, he's already down 90%. I would say today. Yeah. But yeah, that's just a little context, Sam. If someone just straight up told you to buy those, go check the flow first. That's kind of how you get the read. We saw some that might have been ass side, but just the context there, the really high applied volatility, the out of the moneyness, the short term, those kind of give a little bit of a lean toward actually being shorted rather than bought to open. And that's how I'm feeling about it, too. If the person who got into that flow to begin with did indeed long, they're underwater with you, homie. But it happens. Lessons learned. I'll talk a little bit about a really big lesson I learned in September in about 40 minutes when Wayne Hoffman, the mentalist, joins us to discuss human habits, psychology, and fucking yourself over with a bad mental.
Man, there's not. I don't think we're gonna get a Periscope setup on today. I mean, look at all that. It's
price action wise. I've got NASDAQ sitting in a rejection spot. A couple of resistance levels I have here that are pretty close together, so they're not super gospel-y. Kind of playable, but as you see, I didn't enter anything on it because I don't trust it. The trajectory is upside. We did conquer that one chunk of positive gamma that it now sits directly below us. I'm still sitting on my hands here. Somebody asked if I thought the NASDAQ was going to drop to the 28,330s. I mean, maybe, but I'm pretty doubtful that we're going to see a 1,000 point drop in the NASDAQ today. Could it happen? Sure. Have we seen it happen? Yeah. I don't know that I'd hold my breath for that, though. Yeah, we have. If you flip over to all expirations, 7,500 is pretty juiced. And it's pretty big in general. I mean, 2,500 is a big psychological level, but 7,495 right below it is currently the buildup we're seeing. We've also got some action on the 7,540. But if you look down below, I don't know, man. We've got a lot more strikes with heavier positive gamma. But between basically 7,445 all the way down to 7,420, it's just a wasteland of negative gamma. But it's not crazy, you know. I wouldn't be surprised if we range between these positive gamma zones most of the day, barring news.
Yeah, this is definitely a hands-off setup for me right now. I mean, it's an either, it can go either way on this one right now. I mean, you got a lot of heavy negative gamma above us. You got big negative gamma below us. I mean, your biggest strikes are that 7,440, 7,425. Then you got a lot of positive gamma down there too. Yeah, I'm hands off. It might be a good episode to be hands off. I don't want to get caught in a trade if we're, with Wayne. Nate's asking what Periscope's saying right here. I don't know why you just don't join the show, Nate, and listen. But you know.
Yeah, I don't know. Don't join the call for the show. We have a guest
no.
today.
I meant watch the show. Watch the show. Watch the show. All right, let's see. Yeah. No. Nate's the last person that we want on this show. With imagine that. Oh boy, that'd be bad. I did see these AXTIs hit, but these expire a day after earnings here. Again, hard to know if it's, they're trying to play a move today because it's up 8.5% on the day here, or if it's, an earnings move there. So it's kind of, just a grain of salt if it overlaps earnings for me. No matter, the flow can look 100% good. It's even if it's like, even if these are 50 days out, who knows? Like, we don't know what this person's thinking. Like, hey, do they know something about earnings? Are they speculating earnings? Are they, just looking for a long-term play? Like, it's so hard to know. It's that time of the year here. How about these Teslas that hit these?
Real quick, we got a couple more people just trailing into the Twitter feed. Don't worry, folks. In about half an hour, we're going to have our guest, Wayne Hoffman, the mentalist, on to discuss human habits psychology and how we can apply that to trading, be you a swing trader or an intraday scalper. Just stick around. It's going to be a fun episode. I'm going to see if you'll fuck with Anthony a little bit. That'll be good fun. We like fucking with Anthony on the show. And after you look at Tesla, we do have a blanket request for Dell from YouTube. And in the meantime, folks, just keep dropping contracts you want to see. We'll break them down, and then we'll get into the fun part.
Perfect. Yeah, the Teslas. Oh, and we already got a big kind of bid side candle there too with it. When they hit here, so I mean, kind of right away, it's almost a mid-fill there. Pay attention to that bid ask. It's 305 to 320. I'm gonna assume this is probably a 0.5 increment fill, so it's not going to give you that exact mid fill there. Just taking a guess. Kind of face value though, you get a big IV spike when that flow comes in there. I don't like that fill though. I don't like that fill. It's almost a mid fill. It's a little on the ask side there, but I'm pretty sure this is one of those that kind of just fills at a 0.5 increment. I don't know. It looks like they're kind of filling, mostly even here. I mean, besides that 303 there, but yeah, I just kind of hold on. I mean, you don't need to get into every single piece of flow you see. Again, kind of like Nick said yesterday, I don't understand. There's not that. You're going to see a lot more flow that's bad than good. I'd say probably 90% of the flow that I look at's not good, or there's something wrong with it. And you need to be picky when you're copying, you're copying trades essentially from somebody you have no idea what they're doing. So you need to be very, very picky with what you're taking. You can get hurt. I want to see what these FSLRs.
No, I have never lost a trade. How dare you? Not once.
VT. Hey. Why did it side me out? Okay, interesting. Let me.
Yeah, do that part off screen. Oh no.
Okay, there we go. Now it's okay. Interesting.
All right then.
All right, so VTS here looks like again another smaller whale here, and I'm just giving my honest opinion about the flow too. Obviously, I'm not telling you what to do or anything. Just giving you my advice on what I'm seeing and all that. I just there's you'll do what you're gonna want to do on the flow, but I can put in my 2 cents, but it's not financial advice. Looking at the VTSs here, though, yeah, these have been there's been a lot of volume in these well, not a lot, but for this chain, I mean, you had 60 kind of come in here. It's a little position builder here, kind of starting in May. You got 69, 100% of that carrying over,
nice.
60, 100% of that carrying over, 341. Yeah, all this volume is carried over. Literally 100% of the volume except for one contract there. 100% of this is always carried over every time. So this is a very small kind of like position builder, but just kind of looking at the flow here, it's a pretty big mix of ask, mid, and bid side there. I wouldn't be able to get a clean direction on this one here. They are 6% out of the money with a lot of time on them. We can go see if there's anything interesting on the name, though. Let's just take a peek at the premiums here. Yeah, this thing does not get a lot of trades here. Ooh, look at that.
VSTS, not VTS, King.
I clicked on the link that Tucker sent.
Hey, blame Tucker. He can't read.
Oh, my bad. What the hell? Honestly, I didn't know there were different things. VSTS, VTS. Got it. My bad.
Jeez, Tucker. How many times has Tucker done this to me where I'm like going through a piece of flow and
honestly
like,
only a couple. To be fair, only a couple. Only a couple.
Only
not like a
couple.
shitload of times, but
it does happen. I apologize.
Only a couple. Only a couple. All right, so you said it was VSTS.
VSTS, the 15s.
Oh, there we go. There's a little better, kind of setup. I'm gonna guess that 15 probably came in yesterday.
With that massive Hulk dick of flow.
That 821.15 color. I wonder if these two are related though. Let's just take a little peek. See here.
Pretty much full carryover. So whatever that big order is, they're in it. They're in it.
Yeah, that's
no exit.
Yeah. So this
is already cleaner.
Yeah, real time here yesterday. It would have been double check that open interest because you do have 2 big volume candles and then some volume after. So we did the good thing and we're waiting to check that open interest. Let's just see if that tape gives us any kind of clues though. Just kind of looking here. So
hey, nice
see if it'll let me go back a page. Yes, it
go.
does. Hey. So you get kind of okay, IV's kind of rising as that flow's coming in there. Let's just pay attention to our spot. So we're filling at the ask here. There's a couple bid fills in here, but order books just kind of
bid ask reporting. Yeah, that's I wouldn't be dissuaded by that. I don't think. Those fills are all over
go
hell.
back.
Did you see that?
Yeah,
Those are
that
fucking
was
all
kind
over
of
the
being a
place.
little. Trying to go
Second
back
candle's
too
a
many
little
pages.
cleaner.
Yeah, that's. Yeah, I like that.
There is a 2-minute gap, so I'm not too worried about that drop. What's the price? I have 2 cents. It could,
Yeah,
I guess.
it's. And then you got up here too, where it's kind of declining.
Yeah,
Is that price?
interesting.
It's
Now, it doesn't
it's-
guarantee that they're sold to open. I want to
Nope.
be clear.
Correct.
It's just a little
Correct.
extra context. What's interesting is price rising, IV dropping, but the price range is pretty tight there, so it's not super substantial. If I'm trying to see if something's long and I'm looking at the implied volatility, I would want to see a bigger drop with price rising than just that. And there's a 10-second gap
it's-
there. It drops again on the 500 fill too, which is interesting.
Yeah. So it's a little toughy on that one there. I mean, it's down a little bit today. What are these? 6% out of the money, 40. And we overlap earnings too. So
Naturally.
kind of.
Yeah, we got earnings season starting up here, coming in hot shortly.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get
You're gonna
spice.
Yeah, you're gonna hear us talk a lot about all this flow overlaps earnings. It's kind of a little coin toss there. I mean, the flow can look 100% perfect, and an earnings call can just absolutely nuke the flow. I mean, you got to be cautious. Got to be cautious. It's all. I tried to play earnings once in a serious matter, and never again. Absolutely never again. I sat and did a bunch of research on Hood. This was back in like 2023 when they had their first profitable quarter. They had their first. They had. Oh, this will make you feel better. I feel like I've told you the story. I played Hood for I did a lot of research on it and kind of found out there was a reason why their earnings report wasn't so good, and I expected it to improve the next quarter. And they had their first profitable quarter, and the stock absolutely tanked. And guess who lost a substantial bet? And that was my introduction to earnings, where I was like, never playing that again.
Man,
Everything was perfect.
The reason I get salty about Hood is they weren't at the time, before the Bitcoin halving a few years back, they weren't really reporting Bitcoin in earnings, but they were accumulating. And before the halving, before Bitcoin's ripper to 50,000 and then subsequently to 100,000, Hood was sitting on $3 billion worth, and nobody was talking about that. And I was like, well, shit, when Bitcoin moons like crazy after the halving, which it's done every single time within a year, Hood is going to be really spicy. And when I had that thought and when I said that shit, Hood was trading at $11 per share. And then I said it again at $14 per share. And not a single time did I buy a call or a share. And I was certain, man, sometimes the trades you miss sting. They'll make fun of you when the stock runs 1,000% from where you don't, dude. Even now, it's like down way off of highs, and it's still 1,000% above my call out. And this overlaps a little bit. I can see where your earnings happened.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Just in this area here.
Yeah, that'll do it.
All that.
Yeah, you can see the moon once they started reporting that Bitcoin. Those of you just coming in, I know there's a guest in the title. Don't worry, we're getting to that in about half an hour here. We'll go on a little intermission in about 20-25 minutes to get things set up, and then we'll have Wayne Hoffman on for some mentalism and discussing how your psychology applies to your trading performance. Gonna be a good one. Gonna be a fun one. We thought about just having like a normal, just straight up psychologist with a market focus on, but I thought that'd be a little dry for how much we fuck around on the show.
Yeah.
And our homie Arthur suggested Wayne Hoffman, the mentalist, and I loved it because he is a super fun performer, a very eloquent speaker, and I want to see if he'll make Anthony cry on the show for us, because that would be fun for me. Not so fun for Anthony, but I would have fun with it.
Tucker's dropping a couple more contracts in.
Pop them. We got 20 minutes or so to go through some flows, so drop them in. But if we don't get to it before Wayne joins us at 10:30 Eastern, sorry, we'll catch you on Friday for that. Just stick
Oh, we
around,
got a
folks. It's
full
going to be
week
fun
this
as
week.
shit. I'm excited for this one.
Oh, we have a full week this week. I forgot.
Yeah, dude. We got spoiled with
look at-
those short weeks.
Yeah, I hate when they're almost back to back like that. 'Cause it's like, oh,
Get you
you're
comfortable with
kinda
not
used
fucking
to
around on a
it.
Friday.
I want to look at these eBays here quick, and then Sam dropped us another contract. We can take a peek at the 12/18/100 put. We got a spot price increasing here, and it's on bigger size here. I want to go in here and take a peek at these. 12% out of the money, 163 days. Definitely an opener. Heavy volume against very small open interest. We know it's an opener. Massive spike in that net put premium. I just want to see how this looks over the last couple days. Yeah, this thing.
Yep, that's stand out. Let's make sure
Not a
it
lot.
matters.
Yep. Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, the farther
Okay.
views,
It's-
those are getting
it's-
touched up.
yeah.
Don't worry. Those are
Yep,
in
yep,
the
yep,
pipeline
yep.
already.
They're new. They're new. I noticed they're new. They're a little newer. Just kind of, I mean, I'd read it as a buy to open here. It's a little wider spread, but you got your spot price increasing. It's a low historic volume floor. IV rises again. That's what I like to see here is that IV rising is that stock price kind of stays the same or dropping. But yeah, I would lean buy to open on these. Obviously, we have earnings in 21 days, but you know, I'm gonna assume, just going out on a limb here, probably not earnings related if you're grabbing contracts 163 days out there.
Yeah,
I
I would be.
I just don't
inclined to
have-
agree. I do like
I just
that
don't have
IV
the-
pop though.
Yep. And your spot price rising there. I'm actually gonna save these here. These are
Yeah, those will be
interesting.
worth
I don't have the
revisiting.
I don't have the patience to sit in something that long, but you know, I know there's people that, you know, you're working throughout the day. You don't want to sit and
Yeah,
look at 0-day contracts there. Let me
Friday morning. Let's make Friday morning's pre-market session from now on revisiting old flow. That I think would be a good way to do it. That way we can keep Monday and Jesus Christ. Monday and Wednesday open for general pre-market prep like we're doing today, like we did Monday. Let's keep those 2 days just straight up prep, and then every Friday morning during pre-market, we can revisit some of the bangers or death traps that we looked at on the Monday and Wednesday episodes.
at least what we save. At least what we save.
Yeah,
We're
the
gonna-
saved
not
ones. Yeah,
every
yeah.
single piece of flow.
Not every, that'd be too
single
much.
piece of
That'd be
flow.
impossible.
Just the ones that we, yeah.
Ain't no shot
that's-
we'd fit that into half an hour.
No. All right, let's
There's
see.
no way.
Let's look at the ones Sam dropped us. Actually, one more time. I just want to look at that heat zone here on eBay here quick. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be short term. I mean, yeah, you got a lot up there at 120, so might see a little move. Absolute gamma is 120 there. It doesn't seem to, have a lot of gamma on this name, actually. Yeah, curious to see what happens with that one there. All right, let me save that so we can look at it there. It's probably not. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say we're probably not gonna see a move on these by Friday. I mean, you never know. Yeah, we got some good ones for Friday to kind of take a peek at. We got a couple open interest ones we got to go back and revisit. So yeah, Friday works. Friday works for those. All right, let's look at the one Mr. Tucker sent me, KO 71085 call.
We've
Let's
seen a bit of
see.
KO lately. I will say that Coca-Cola got a little subtly not so subtle Trump bump with the fucking dog shit AI videos the White House keeps putting out. In this one at the end, his little AI avatar said, "You'll be super healthy if you just drink Diet Coke like me," because that's how that works. And if you look at Coca-Cola's chart, that had a significant effect.
Yeah,
A different
Just-
kind of Trump tweet yeet, but a Trump tweet yeet nonetheless.
drink the soda that's packed with 5 times the daily sugar amount that you should have, and
That'll just make you healthy, guys.
Yeah. Anyway, so the Cokes here. This one's going to be a lot trickier because kind of pay attention to our volume column here. So kind of starting on 7-1. You had 785 contracts traded. You only had 505 carry over. You had 1,000 there on the second. Only 345 carried over. 4,700 here on yesterday. Only 390 carried over. We don't know who's holding what in here. It's very, very tough. Even yesterday's volume, I mean, there's a significant amount of volume, but we only have 390 contracts carry over. There was a lot of contracts punting around yesterday. So let's go back to yesterday and see how that looked. Yeah, well, here, yeah. Who knows what they were doing? My guess, and again, this is only a guess because there's no way to confirm this at all. Here's where that whale came in. You had 620 contracts, and this could have been from a previous day too. We don't know, but I'm just for the example here, pretend this is all just same day. We have, here's where that comes in, 59. We're seeing big spikes in volume, 73, 76, 102. Here's where a big chunk of that volume's coming in, and just kind of, eye test it, build it up. What's the game? Tetris. Build the blocks up, kind of like that.
Tetris, your goal's the opposite, though.
Yeah, I don't know if you know what Tetris is, Freddie.
Hey, I'm not 90. I don't play Tetris. I don't play Tetris. But no, I mean, I'd probably lean. I mean, again, we don't know if this trade is from a different day, but just for the example, this 620 is just for the day. My guess is this is probably exiting here that day. Again, we don't know. There's just so much messy big volume spikes in here. So I'm not seeing anything specific on this chain. We can check KO though. Let's see. Yeah, there's your probably tweet day there, the AI video there on the 30th. I'm guessing. But yeah, that looks, yeah, that was your kind of move up there. Then you're seeing a lot of bid side stuff there. I don't know if we have anything else on it. We can take a peek at the gamma. Just getting kind of over that gamma there. So let's see, we had 83 there. We're slightly above there. 9 days out. Yeah, I mean, you're kind of in the middle of all that heavy positive gamma. I would kind of, with 85 is the absolute gamma and pin there. I think we might stick around this area. When do we have earnings on this name? Probably a couple of weeks. 728 there. So yeah, oh, look at that implied move on there. Pretty big implied move there. Last couple quarters though, it's kind of went outside, but does tend to stay inside. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything specific on that contract. Speaking of that, I was gonna do this one earlier here. Look at Wendy's for the
Look at Wendy's, man.
For their earnings. They have never
with a
went
rotten
outside of
milk
their
smelling
implied
cheese.
Move, at least in the last 16 quarters. I'm going to make a good assumption here that there's going to be a really high implied move for the next upcoming earnings season, and it's probably going to stay very close. I mean, if history repeats itself
we
here,
do have extra context with Wendy's though, and sometimes
with the
context
CFO,
beats
yeah.
financials. So in this case, usually a CEO CFO change, it can have a little bit of an effect. For Wendy's, it had a lot of bit of an effect. Once the announcement hit, we'll see if anything happens with the earnings call that drives that momentum higher. But their recent CFO CEO combination with the new CFO they just brought on is they've got a track record of success. They've already taken one restaurant from kind of small to keep a bit of a powerhouse in sandwiches. And people are hoping they're going to do the same thing for Wendy's and make Wendy's more, a little bit more relevant again. I got bones to pick with Wendy's personally. Not in any way, shape, or form in my top fast food places to go. Their cheese is funky. Maybe the new CFO will get us some better cheese.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Potbelly's has pretty good cheese on there.
Because Wendy's is the closest fast food to my house, but like I never want to eat it. Their prices skyrocketed and the quality of the food dropped. So I have not been hot on Wendy's. But hey, maybe Pork Belly Bro will fix that shit.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I just found that interesting. I was kind of looking at earnings, some moves yesterday. I was like, hey, this name's never hit an implied move. So it's usually it's very very rare when I see something like on a kind of well-known name that has never hit an implied move. But it's just look at the earnings per share every quarter. Jeez, man.
Barely beats, but beats nonetheless. I mean, they're moving more than 5% on earnings pretty consistently, but they're not getting anywhere outside of that implied move at all.
No,
my girlfriend just said she wants a potbelly sandwich now. I'm hungry as shit this morning. I can go for a sandwich.
What is wrong with you? You've been hungry like the last
I know, dude. Usually I'm not hungry until like the early evening, but the last like week or two, 9:30, 10 a.m., I'm like, fuck, I could go for a burrito.
Man, Periscope is not giving us anything at all.
I have not taken a single trade this morning.
Either.
Yeah, this has been a flow morning, and that's fine. We only got about 15 minutes, folks, before mentalist Wayne Hoffman joins us to make Anthony cry and discuss human habits, psychology, and applications to trading. I'll give a little bit of backdrop for why I wanted to do an episode like this right at the top once he joins, and we'll have some fun with it, I hope.
Dang.
What
we
the
just had
fuck?
earnings on this yesterday. Even when the flow looks good on something like this, do you really want to chase something that's up 17%?
I mean, famous last words, the last like 3 times we've said that on the show. But and also, I mean, the open interest volume isn't ideal. Yeah, that's some implied volatility right there.
IV rising, repeat hits, ascending. God, that flow looks good, but it's a chase if you're taking something. And a really pricey chase too. Really pricey chase. So we can come back and look at it, but I wouldn't personally take this. This is definitely a chase for sure. Save that one. That's very, very ballsy to take something like that. I want to take a picture of this too. Yeah, but this is what I'm looking for in flow more so, post and earnings move that's up 17%. I like seeing that IV rise here, spot price rising, your stock price staying the same here. I like seeing that. I like seeing that a lot. But that's definitely a chase for sure. You got to be ballsy to chase that there. Ballsy, ballsy, ballsy.
I got none of those.
Yeah, we know.
That's the kind of shit that, like, at open, if it had popped like that, Jay-Z would have been like, I'm in 10.
He'd be like, oh, I'm already up 50% on them. Like, yeah, we know you are. Not telling us about trades you're in, per usual.
BK asked about the SPX gamma at 7,500. On 0 day, kind of non-existent relative to other strikes. Pretty small positive on the 0 day, and we're still early enough in the day that the 0 day gamma exposure is what I'm going to be looking at if I'm taking scalps. If they can turn that 74.65 into a pretty firm resistance on any back test up, that could be a good short entry. We finally have net call premium coming down in line with SPY and SPX, and still some buildup below us. I wouldn't be too dramatically interested in 7,500 quite yet. I would want to wait until a little bit after lunch to start really paying attention to all. Right now, there is nothing up there for the 0 date contract. 74.95 a little bit. But once we get a little bit closer to this latter half of the trading session is when I'll pay a little bit more attention to all. But you are right. There's some pretty hefty buildup on 7,500, and that's kind of going to be the case. I bet if we even, like, let's look at, yeah, if you even look like a month in the future, we're going to see buildup there. That's a pretty psychological level. We just looked at 7 different expirations. The only one with negative gamma is on July 27th. So that's probably going to be a point of interest in general. But yeah, this early in the trading session, we're less than an hour into the session. I'm not going to look too much at it, I don't think. Right now, I'm more interested in that 74.65 that we just lost and 74.45 just below us. And then if you really want to extend that range, the biggest heavy positive gamma below us is down to 73.80. I don't know that that's going to happen right now, but it could. That'd be an entire % drop from current price. So Grain of salt. I don't know that we'll extend that full range, but it is possible.
Yeah,
All right, we got time for maybe one more flow breakdown before we hit our 5-10 minute intermission to bring Wayne Hoffman in to talk some psychology, habits, what have you, and their applications to what we do, which is trading. Very heavily involved. I will die on the hill that your psychology is much more important than whatever strategy you've bought yourself into, because your strategy doesn't mean shit if you can't keep your head on straight.
MU has been getting clapped the last. Oh, it's up today. It was down like 3% pre-market again. 2 days, 24% out of the money. Yeah, they're not going to touch those guys. Not touching those. That's a little farther. And again, just look at that theta on these contracts.
Flip into your camera. I'll be right back. I'm going to need a beverage for that segment.
That theta is $1.08 a day, and your delta's 0.01. These are absolutely not even worth touching. These contracts are priced at 88 cents. They're going to lose pretty much 100% of their value overnight there. They're so far out of the money. Oops, where did we go here? Jeez. Wayne's going to have fun with me. Jeez. All right. Let's pop this up here again.
You say you were joking about not sleeping much. How much did you actually sleep? What time did you go to bed?
Oh, dude, I was in bed by like 9 o'clock.
Oh, look at this guy go.
Like 9:30. Oh, dude, if I don't get my sleep, I'm not getting up. I'm not getting up. Yeah, no, I need at least my like 8 hours minimum, man. It's yeah. If I don't get my sleep, I'm a grumpy guy. And you probably don't want to talk to me for the day.
I already don't, but.
Yeah, but I mean, even more. Like, I might be nice to you if I'm tired. I might be nice to you.
No, let's not do that.
Like, do you want that?
No, that's scary.
You don't want that. You don't want that.
God, no.
You don't want that. But yeah, these MUs here, I'd probably wouldn't want to touch those. Just based on those contract Greeks. I mean, these things are going to be gone tomorrow unless there's a massive news event or something, but other than that, yeah, not too much hitting the tape right away here. Not too much else hitting the tape. Periscope, yeah, we're just sitting. I mean, you got some positive gamma above us, below us. Not really a super good setup to scalp anything. Just a massive range there. Jeez, what do you do? Go out to the barn to get a drink?
Cause for concern said 8 hours is minimum, in my opinion. Did you ever not sleep one night? I have insomnia, brother. I never not sleep every night. I wish I could get a minimum of 8 hours. Sleep. Now, fun fact, cause for concern. Sleeping too much can be a detriment too. If you sleep too much, it can also negatively affect your cardiovascular health in similar ways to sleep deprivation, though nowhere near as bad. But oversleeping can fuck with you too. But how little I sleep messes with me more than that would, I'm sure.
Maybe that's why you're so loud, is because you don't get enough sleep and you just can't like control yourself.
There's an aspect to that, but it ain't the sleep.
Yeah. I mean, I was trying to be nice about it. I know I told Tucker when you were gone, Tucker's like, what happens if you don't get sleep? I'm like, I'd probably be nice to you for a week. Like, you don't want that. Yeah, like...
But hold on, that did happen one week. What was that about? Remember that weird week where you were like, "Oh, Tucker, you're the best."
You had a common enemy in me, I think.
Yeah, we had a common enemy that week. There, we had a common enemy there. Hey, look, but before we wrap up here, quick, look at these oxys. 717.54 call. Oil's up significantly.
Only oxy I care about is OxyClean. Billy Mays here.
Oh, that's not what I thought you were gonna say. Anyways, yeah, nice spike in
what he thought I was gonna say.
I thought you were gonna say Oxycontin.
Oh,
and be like, "Geez, boy."
Honestly, like pain pills don't do shit. When I had my knee surgery, I didn't even take them.
Geez.
They don't do shit for me. They do nothing. So I can't even party with oxys.
You need to be studied. Waking up during surgeries.
It's like a known thing. It's a genetic trait. You can thank my mom's side for that shit, probably. And for like everything else.
I'd say these oxys look good though. Nice IV spike when they come in spot fills with the ask there. So other than that though, that's kind of all I got for that one.
Bada
That is
bing.
all I got there.
We can tickle. Did we look at Dell ever today?
No, we didn't.
We
No,
did get
didn't.
we did get a request for Dell earlier.
Yeah, let me just
somewhere.
I'll
I
hop
think
through it
YouTube.
quick.
Yeah, it was YouTube. We did get a Dell
I'll hop
request.
through it quick.
Let's do a really quick blanket review of Dell, and then I'm going to switch us over to get set up for our psychology guest spot with Wayne Hoffman. This is going to be fun. I'm excited. I would imagine no trading show has had a mentalist on.
Probably
I think we're in groundbreaking territory here.
All right, let's do a speed read on. We'll do a speed read here on Dell. So, a lot of ask side net call premium, puts not really seeing a lot of attention. Heavy net volume today, positive net volume. Just kind of looking through here. How about that 319.27 500 call? This is an opener. You got 1800 there. I just want to take a peek at this previous there. Ooh, 6.2. I want to go back there and look. Hey, at least it wasn't 6.7. Ha 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 ha.
I hate you so much right now.
Yeah, I wonder if this is an add-in. They just filled the bid, so a little kind of funky on that one there. Let's just scan the contracts here quick. Let's just see what we got in here. Yeah, I'm doing a face value look here. This is just a very quick face value look. I'm not clicking into the flow and doing that. So just do a little of your own research here too. Not to kind of, speed through it, but Wayne's a little more important than Dell right now. Yeah, I mean, they're slapping calls, just face value here. They are all trading kind of at the low right now. And then just a quick heat zone read, and that is it. Yeah, a lot of positive gamma up there. I gotta see what we were at today. 448. Ooh, we're down a little bit from there. 448. Did we hit that high level? Well, we got close. 450. Look at that. Kind of dealers selling when we get up there. 9-day out. 450. Yeah, I'd say more of a longer term bullish read on that one, at least on the heat zone there. 450.
Well, I mean, just look at the May and June movement. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
That was another. You'll be surprised to hear. That was another Trump tweet.
Another, yeah.
Just like Intel, just like Coca-Cola. I wonder if there's any conflict of interest going on there. Maybe. I will say he was in both of those stocks before he said those things. I will say that. And then reported that late.
Do that. Yeah, and you got kind of a bull flag forming here too, just a very simple bull flag there. But yeah, there's your Dell read. Sorry, it's a little late. All
right, everybody. We are gonna fuck off from here, but we're gonna be still live. Don't worry, we're not actually going anywhere. We're just gonna take a quick 5 or so minute intermission to get things set up for our guest Wayne Hoffman, who's gonna help us discuss human habits, tendencies, and psychology, and how we can apply that to trading, how it affects your trading. Let me tell you, it does, more so than your strategy does. And maybe even a little bit of subconscious ego that you have in there, because I definitely got that. Trust me. So we'll be back in about 5 minutes with Wayne Hoffman for some fun and some brain education. Hang tight, folks. Thanks for sticking around, and we'll see you in a minute. Welcome back, everybody, to WhaleWatch. This time we've actually got our very, very first guest spot that isn't another run-of-the-mill, hoity-toity, let's talk finance shtick. We're joined with Wayne Hoffman, one of the top mentalists in the world. And I don't say that lightly. He's pretty renowned with what he does, and he's built his career around understanding how people think, how people make decisions, how they develop habits. He's a multi-award-winning performer, speaker, the author of Mind Candy. He's made appearances on America's Got Talent. He fooled Penn and Teller, which isn't a task that you can take lightly either. I don't think I see them get fooled very often. I used to watch the hell out of that show. And he's made appearances on CNN Money, The Ellen DeGeneres Show, what have you. And today we're going to be talking about psychology, habits, impulses, discipline, how these same mental traps that can affect us all aspects of life, all these same mental traps that he utilizes for his routines and performances are directly applicable to how you invest and how you trade. And enough of my rambling, Wayne. How are you? And how you feeling?
I'm always good. I'm always good. I always say I'm always good. I'm just waiting for the rest of the world to catch up. You know, like if you're at home chilling, aren't you always just good until somebody like knocks on the door and causes issues, you know?
Ruins your vibe instantly. So I want to start off a little bit with why I wanted to do an episode focusing on, psychology, tendencies, impulses, especially because if you're trading options, if you're scalping futures intraday, you've got a whole slew of impulses. You see a setup, you want it. You even hear us on the show. Anthony and I will miss an entry and we'll just sit there bitching about it nonstop. Oh, I missed it. They're going without me. And that definitely plays a role. And as somebody with myriad mental illnesses, from bipolar disorder to OCD with a little touch of Tourette's, I'm sure you've seen me do my little face twitchy ticks on the show here and there. You never see me sitting still. My mental health has definitely affected trading a shit ton. For those who haven't been around for forever in the community, I've been trading since 2018. And I went full-time in 2021, made a slew of money, and then got myself in a little bit of a hole helping beyond my means for a few years. And then we fast forward to last year, September of 2025. I had pretty much fixed all of that helping with my trading of futures, gave myself a nice cushion, ready to pay off the hole that I got myself into. And my stepfather died in a car accident on the way to my uncle's funeral. So we got a 2-for-1 in a short term, and that led to me making really rash, dog shit decisions when trading, and I nuked about 30 grand, all of my profit from that half of the year in less than a week, just by trading angry. Trading angry. Missed a setup, chased in. Got a bad trade, revenge traded on the next one. And so I really want to focus on how important your mental is to trading, because it doesn't matter what strategy you have. You guys watch the show. Our strategy is pretty sound using that gamma exposure. We take a few losses here and there, but ultimately we're profitable as all hell on the show consistently. But that doesn't matter if your head's not on straight. And so I'll toss it over to you, Wayne. Anything you want to touch on before we really dive into the weeds, man?
Yeah, I think you nailed the message. Because here's the game. I'll sum it up in one sentence. The market is a mirror. Traders think they're analyzing the market, but the market is actually analyzing you. It's completely reversed. You're the starting point of everything. It's very akin to poker playing, right? There's two facets to playing poker, right? There's the math to it. I have a 0.1% chance of getting the straight. And then there's also the psychology of it. It's the mindset behind it. It's reading the people across from you. It's controlling your emotions to not give your tells away so they can beat you. So there's a great quote, I think it's by Jim Rohn, and it says, "Work harder on yourself than you do on your job." Because at the end of the day, who's doing the trading? A human being. And what is a human being made of? Man, chemicals, testosterone, estrogen, emotions, fear, anger, ego, all these things bubble up. So I think, if you listen on yourself than you do on trading, you are in control of everything that's happening. I mean, basically look at it this way. Ask yourself one question. If you take two guys, right? They're looking at the same trade opportunities. You have your candlesticks, you're doing your quantitative analysis, right? And one guy makes, 40 million bucks and the other one loses his ass. Well, why? Right? It's because one guy is using a different set of skills as a human being than the other guy. One guy, you said it. The fact that you said the phrase revenge trading, the fact that that term exists and everybody knows exactly what you're talking about, uh, proves the point. So I'll put a bookend on it there, but yeah, work harder on yourself than you do on your trading.
And so, kind of in real time, it kind of comes down to self-awareness. But if there was a way for, let's say, somebody who really gets a little too excitable when they're trading, what's a good way to help people, especially beginners who haven't really experienced how taxing or confusing or how much even a win can mess up what you're doing. I like to say sometimes that success is one of the biggest drawdowns to trading, because you get caught up in, like you mentioned earlier, that ego. You're like, hey, I'm on a roll, 5-day winning streak, I can't lose. Then you lose a trade and you're like, oh, I can get that back, and you just keep going in and in and in. How can people be more self-aware when that starts happening, when they start getting that feeling?
Yeah, so the question is in the question. You have to start by asking that question. There's dudes right now that are dumping tons of money into something and they never even asked that question, right? And these might be new traders and even seasoned traders, man. Sometimes, listen, they're even the best in the world, right? They're still human, they still have faults, and they need to do what I'll call continuing education credits, meaning you have to re-up and get those reminders. So my advice would be this. First of all, everybody's situation is different, right? You might be old, you might be young, you might be in a different era of your life, you might be diagnosed with a mental illness, you might have a physical problem, you might not be able to see out of one eye. Whatever your situation is unique to you. You're having your own story. So you really have to search for your own answer. I can tell you this broadly. The number one thing, and we're taught this as kids, but we like kind of take it for granted. And that is read, learn, right? You can't like guess your way in, or it doesn't happen internally, right? New skills and new knowledge comes from other places. And there's tons of resources on this topic, the intersection between psychology and money. Uh, Trading in the Zone, Mark Douglas, right? There's a book right there for you. How many of you know about the book or have read it? Maybe none. Why? What are you doing, dude? Like, what are you doing? There's also the books, The Psychology of Money, which is a huge, I mean, it sold like whatever, 10 million copies. Have you read it? No, you didn't even know about it? Why not, bro? Like, what are you doing? You want to win? This is a like 50% component of what you're doing, right? It's the psychology behind what you're doing. So my first just general piece of advice for anyone listening, and keep in mind, I've been studying the human mind pretty much my entire life. I started doing what I've been doing since age 10. I'm currently 44. Do the math. So I would
Don't
say
look a
this.
day over 25, man.
Thanks. I always actually, side note, little tangent. I just had this conversation with my wife. I said, the moment you know you're old is when your age goes past the answer of how old are you? How old are you? 25. Cool. then it ends there. But if you're like 57, 68, 72, it's like, oh, I'm 72. Wow, you don't look a day over 33. And boy, what kind of skincare routine? And then you know you're old. That's how you know, by the way.
What's this say about
So-
me at 33 where I'm like 76 or so? I don't know.
You don't look a day over 22.
And then you got Tucker doesn't look a day over 15.
Yeah, and they
man.
consistently make fun of me where it's like, we all know I'm not
Bro,
that young.
I really
but-
hope he's
Bro.
older than 16, given the shit we say on the show.
Oh,
man.
God.
Just wait 20 years and you'll be the one that's laughing.
Oh, yeah.
Just put this is your you know, this is your secret gun you're holding. You're gonna walk up to him one day and just be like, this is like 20 years from now, and you'll be like, now what, bitch? What were you saying back in the day? Just play this clip back and they'll know what you're talking about.
If I'm still talking to Anthony in 20 years, something's gone very wrong. with my life.
That's an amazing insight. Your goal is to never see them again and be on your own tropical island, Tucker Island, somewhere in the Caribbean with yeah, anyway. So reeling it back in again to recap what I said is go ask the question. You know, jump on AI and talk to that dude and be like, hey, here's my situation. What books do you recommend? I know it's ridiculous, but it's true. You just got to start learning. And let's face it, you know, like if you hand somebody a book and it's not their vibe, you know, they're going to know right away and they're not going to read it. So I'm not going to tell you, here are the exact books you need to read in order to, you know, because reading style, you know, some people don't even like reading, you know, maybe an audiobook or a video, but that's the question. It's ask yourself the question, you know, and go out and do your own research. I mean, here's 3 books. Listen, for people that just want to write stuff down and do what I tell them to do and they like following orders, I would say, you know, Trading in the Zone, The Psychology of Money, Atomic Habits by James Clear.
Atomic Habits is good.
Yeah, that's you know, it's a popular book. People like it, and there's millions of these things floating around. So I think that's the key. Your first step, you know, I can tell you what I can tell you during our time here, but this is, you know, this has an end cap. Unfortunately, I can't hang with you guys forever. You know, I'm trying to
Hey,
get
I
on
got a
my
spare room, man. Just
tropical
move
island.
in. Don't worry about
Yeah,
it.
just pull the mentalist out of the closet and ask him what we should do here. No, so yeah, that's it, man. Bottom line, go read some books on the intersection of psychology and money. And when I say books, I use that term loosely. You know, listen to somebody who knows what they're talking about. Watch a video. Sit down and think. Here's a crazy thing. A lot of people are constantly consuming content, right? Somebody's listening or watching right now, and they're you know da 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 da. But one of the most important here's a great quote to sum it up: the silence between the notes and music is just as important as the notes themselves. So sometimes you really just got to sit in a room alone, no phone, no TV, you know, interruptions, and analyze yourself and say, am I the best version of myself that I can be? Do I know everything about this topic? And I think brutal honesty goes a long way, man. Authenticity, really just being like, I'm shit at this, or I don't know about this. And sometimes you don't know what you don't know. You know what I mean? So doing deep research on that topic generally, first thing out of the gate.
Beautifully said. And just on top of that, with that honesty, you got to do it, man. Even if it hurts. Like I for lack of a better word, I'm not much of a believer in that regard, but I definitely had a come to Jesus moment when I blew that account last year, big time. Because I've been doing it a while. I know better, and hey, sometimes your mind gets in the way, and you got to be way more cognizant of that happening than I would say most of us probably are. I ended up implementing a bunch of rules that I never would have implemented in trading before that happened. I cap myself at a gain of 300 per day. If I get there, great. If I don't, I just end with what I have, and I still break that rule sometimes. It happens. no one's ever going to be perfect at trading, but really reining in your mind and being comfortable with silence. I think a lot of people are uncomfortable with silence. When I used to do like personal training, MMA, a shitload of yoga, I would notice really usually calm friends that completely sit still in every social setting get really fidgety at a yoga session. It's like that silence makes people super uncomfortable. So would you just say practice makes perfect with that? People should just really lean into that, sit in your room, get comfortable with the discomfort of silence?
Here's what I've learned. Now let's take trading out of it. This goes for any type of success in, I'll call it entrepreneurship, right? Whatever it may be. So let me give you some background. I grew up in the middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania, right? I flip-flopped between the inner city, like the ghetto, and farmlands. Like I had a farm behind me, and I didn't know anybody. I had no connections. My mom was a waitress. My dad worked in an aluminum foundry, right? But here's this kid who's walking around going, one day, I'm going to read people's minds. I'm going to become an illusionist and a mentalist. I'm going to travel the world globally, and I'm going to be on TV, right? And I said all these insane things. And of course, everyone's like, you're a lunatic, kid. Go back in your room and, play video games. And then fast forward, and everything that I said I was going to do, I actually pulled it off. And one of the things that I learned was this: you have to get comfortable with discomfort. You have to feel things that you don't want to feel. And when you live in that and learn how to deal with those emotions, you don't try to beat them. You don't try to avoid them, right? It's not like, oh, I'm going to trade perfectly and I'm never going to lose money, man. Oh, I'm going to win everything, right? That's great. I mean, great for optimism. But the reality of it is we're all going to take a hit. We're all going to mess things up. We are all going to recognize, in this arena, like I said in the beginning, the market is a mirror. You're going to see like the worst of you and the best of you, right? You're going to do that ego trade. You're going to do that revenge trade. You're going to buy into the gambler's fallacy, that because this and this happened in the past, that means I'm due to win. Not true, bro. So living in that discomfort, I think, and being able to manage it and recognizing, when you do something wrong. Like here, you just admitted it. You were like, I was in an emotional, wacky state because of what happened, and I messed up, right? People don't like that. The human being does not like hearing that they did a bad thing. When a kid says something, when they're a child, that's naughty, right? Like maybe they say like the F word and they know it's bad. They go like this, they cover their mouth, right? They do that move because human beings don't like messing up. That's why it's so hard to like apologize for things and admit mistakes. But the problem is, bro, your bank account is going to reflect your ability to manage that. Your
Fast and
portfolio,
violently sometimes.
yes, indeed, your portfolio is a receipt for your behavior and your ability to control it, and these emotions. So yeah, if people have made money on this psychology, including me, bro, everything I'm talking about, I literally buy my groceries based upon this stuff.
He just drained Anthony's bank account like 10 minutes ago and he doesn't know it yet.
You have no idea. It was great. Thanks, Anthony. But like, okay, look at Las Vegas, right? If you're familiar with the game of roulette, right? You drop a ball, it's bouncing around all these numbers, it's going to land on one, a number and a color. Well, at some point, the casinos introduced what they call the tote board. And the tote board is that board on the side that lights up that shows you all of the numbers that have come up previously, right? and people come in and they're like, look, it's been black 21 times in a row. That means a red is due, right? And they have this emotional fallacy that a red is due, a red is due. Well, the math is still, like essentially 1 in 36. Every time that ball spins, you have the same mathematical chance of it coming up. So why did they waste the money to buy those boards and get the technology, and the electric bill just on those alone is like probably ridiculous in a massive casino? Why are they spending money on something that doesn't make sense? It's because they're basing it on the fact that they can manipulate human psychology and take advantage of people's inability to control themselves and understand the psychology behind essentially gambling. This can apply to trading, this can apply to gambling. It's the same thing. It's taking your money as a human being with emotions, thoughts, and feelings, putting it forward in a certain way based upon decisions that you're making as a human being, and your bank account, and possibly the generations of kids you may or may not have in the future, they're banking on the fact that this random dude is going to make the right thing and control his mindset. So yeah, man, it's the Wild West out here.
I really like that roulette example, because everybody here on the show has heard me talk about my sentiment toward futures trading prop firms, where you take a test, you pay them for a test, pay them for funding, you trade their money, but it's actually on a simulated account still, unless they call you up to live. The way those work, and I use them, I trade a prop firm account on the show while I'm getting my personal account reset back up. They're a good place, in my opinion, to start, to have a little bit of your neck in the game, but not nuke your bank account while you're learning. But ultimately, prop firms are making their money not off of their funded traders and that profit split. They're making their money off of people failing the test, off of people getting funded and then blowing that account and doing it again. And you'll see this if you ever sign up for a prop firm. Right when you fail that combine, that test, you get an email to try again. They're feeding off of that same gambling addiction psychology aspect to get you to keep just over and over and over and over and over. And knowing this, when I blew that account, I fell into that trap for a short time, doing exactly that, being like, hey, I fucked up bad in a time where I can't afford to fuck up bad. And so I need to fix this now. And that impatience just added to the problem. That was a really good analogy, because it's directly applicable to trading, especially that, hey, this thing's coming up. Hey, we're due for black. We're due for black. It's been red 20 times. We're due for black. That's true of trading setups too. We've been pumping all day. We're soaring to the moon. Holy shit, this has to reject at some point. I'm going to short here. Oh, fuck, it kept going. Well, it's got to reject at some point. I'm going to short here. And that lack of patience, that fallacy that, hey, this has to happen. No, it doesn't. It doesn't have to do anything.
Yeah. I mean, you have. Let's ask this question: why do smart people lose money? Why do smart people lose money? Right? It doesn't make sense. If you're smart, you should be making lots of money. Intelligence doesn't equal emotional control, right?
Emotional intelligence versus that book experience intelligence.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So you have fear, you have greed, you have ego, you have impulse, you have the need to be right. I always say, I don't always say, I'm going to say today, a bad trader protects their ego, a good trader protects their capital. And how do you do that? It's through learning how to master the machine that's running the trades. And that's you, man. That's your brain. Everything that you do at your fingertips starts in your brain. So why aren't you focusing in on that? It's literally the control center of everything that you're doing. I think I'm really happy we're doing this, because it's crazy to say this. I know for a fact there's somebody out there listening right now having a massive epiphany, going, shit, this dude's right. Like, and I hope someone out there is going to take the initiative to like read some books, get some training, learn about this machine that's running their trades, and make a shit ton of money. I only take 10%. So just remember, Wayne Hoffman, you can find me. I'll give you my routing number and account number, whatever. I take Venmo, whatever you need to do. I'll, tie it to a homing pigeon and I'll give you the coordinate.
And he's a mentalist, so he already knows what everybody in the audience is thinking right now. He's coming for your ass. I see you,
Yeah.
Isaac Dotson. You're next, buddy.
So yeah, man. Again, I think for anybody listening, it's we can talk all day about the importance of it, but I follow a 4-step process every time I look to achieve something, right? I follow a 4-step process. The first thing is feel, right? That's the first thing in everything that I do. I have to be emotionally connected to the outcome, because if I'm not, then I'm just kind of going through life based upon what maybe media told me or others. So if somebody's getting a vibe right now where a feeling like, yeah, you know what, I should attack this and I should be the master of it. You can learn all day the technical aspects of this. But if you're not the master of your mind, none of it matters, right? When you're asleep, right, you're essentially in dreamland. How are you doing your trading? You're not. You're comatose because your brain is essentially shut off, right? So first of all, if you feel something, if this conversation is connecting with you, then define what it is that you need to do and define what actions you're going to take. Like, okay, make the plan. This is where everybody, because here's the thing. People are going to listen to this and they're going to be like, woo, woo, rah, rah, go brain. I'm going to start, taking a supplement every morning and reading books. And then like
bust out that Joe Rogan alpha brain shit, baby.
Yeah. You know what's funny? I was going to say that, but I didn't want to plug his shit. Not yet. He didn't pay me enough.
I come from a research regulation background before I got into trading, and so I have a lot of problems with a lot of those products.
Yeah, it's funny, and I've looked at them, because I've looked at everything, and it's funny because of the fact that brain health is in my arena, and I've met people in the health space. I became friends with Flex Lewis. He's like, multi Mr. Olympia champion, and some other people. I'm like, wow, how can I? Again, this is going back to the thing, man. Learn. So right now, I'm in the process of learning, like, what's real when it comes to brain health and supplements and vitamins and creatine and all this stuff. But going back to what I was saying, a lot of people are going to listen to this and woo woo rah rah go brain, and then an hour later they're going to be like, you know what? I'm hungry. I could really use a burrito. And then all of a sudden, all of that goes away and they go about their daily life and nothing changes. So if this is resonating with you, and you're like, yeah, okay, define what you're going to do now. What are you going to do? Okay, I'm going to make a commitment every day to find one resource, one thing, read a thing. Once a week, I'm going to listen to something about the psychology, and the relationship between the mind and money, right? So you feel it, you define it, plan it, which is those steps. You put it in your calendar, bro. Like right now, what's stopping you from opening your calendar and on the 1st of every month, putting in there, find a new resource on the psychology of money and trading, right? Nothing. Do it. Because you're not going to do it. Like some people are lazy or they're too distracted, right? And then the last thing, which is the last step, is actually execute on what you're saying and be disciplined, man. Listen, we're not talking about like driving to a gym and like running 12 miles and lifting weights. Let's face it. I don't know about you guys, but I'm not doing that shit every day, right?
No.
So
I have long since lost that motivation.
Yeah, exactly. So if you're gonna, dude, at least master something. If you're not going to go to the gym every day, and anybody that's listening to this is clearly interested in the topic. If you're watching this, you're interested in it. Are you here just to like dilly dally? Or are you here to crush it? If you're here to crush it, if you're here to learn, crush it.
That's the vibe I like, man. The only thing I'm like actually good at pisses Anthony and Tucker off every time it shows up because I'll hear a word, my tism kicks in, and I'll just sing the whole damn song, just piss everyone off on the show.
But when you do it, do you crush it?
Of course, of course.
Well,
hey.
Yeah. He crushes it to where the audience will say, "Tell that guy to stop being so loud."
Why is he so loud?
See, that's the benefit. If you guys ever join forces and get a studio, you could have a mute button on his mic and he won't even know. Just
Fun
saying.
part is that I control the show, so I can mute everybody and just keep
Oh,
myself,
man.
maybe just volume boost myself a little bit, really add to the vibe.
That's a structural and contract issue. You might want to
Yeah.
renegotiate that.
Get the MCA claimed. Done that a couple times too. It was like- But yeah, man, all that said, I'll die on the hill that no strategy matters if you don't do everything Wayne's talking about. It doesn't matter. Like I said at the top of the segment, our strategy trading gamma exposure using futures as the vehicle works well. Obviously, it doesn't work 100% of the time. Nothing does. I can't even talk 100% of the time. I trip over my tongue, even though I've been running my mouth nonstop since I was born. It's not 100%. And the last thing I really wanted to touch on before we move into the fun stuff is I mentioned earlier that a big risk of trading actually is success because it can develop and fuel that ego, give you a false sense of accomplishment in a short amount of time for something you haven't tried and true for years. You know, a week or two doesn't really matter if this is something you're doing for 30 years. I want to touch a little bit on the reciprocal of that, the failure, because one of the things that really happens, whether it be, you know, trading, outright gambling, addiction in general, is upon failure, that sense of shame. A lot of people see that as a give up moment. I have experienced and seen it otherwise, where it creates something else. It creates a form of self-loathing that in turn eventually results in repetition of the same thing. When people think of the term dopamine, they think of a positive, energetic thing, but you get dopamine rushes from failure too. And it can build into that habit of do really well, get excited, fail dramatically, crush yourself. That's a dopamine hit with each of those failures. And I think that's part of why you see gambling addiction be so violent. You keep coming back for more, getting accustomed to that pain you generate for yourself. Could you touch a little bit on why that is and how we can try to manage that emotionally ourselves?
Yeah, certainly. So here's the funny thing. This is the wildest thing in the world. Unpredictable rewards drive behavior. Unpredictable is the key thing there. So the trick is the addiction isn't winning. You're not addicted to winning. It's the possibility of winning. That's where you get that reward. Like in actuality, people that win $100, right? You think, wow, I won $100. Great. I get a dopamine hit. No, but if I put a button in front of you and I said, you're going to hit this button and you have a possibility of winning $500, you get a way bigger dopamine hit on this possibility of winning that $500 by hitting a random button than you would if I just handed you $100, like without any emotional play, right? And you have to remember, this is a key thing. You have to remember one thing, and I think this is a really important statement to make. Humans evolved for survival. They didn't evolve to trade, right? Humans evolved from a deep-seated natural instinct to just like continue living, right? To not die. It's to avoid, a tiger eating you, and, not have a rock fall on your head. So we're wired in a way where the possibility of risk, the possibility of loss is a really driving factor in what you're doing. And when you're talking about loss aversion, um, humans, they hate losing more than they love winning, right? So you have this over kind of dramatic emotional reaction to losing. Like, think about this. Every time you lose, it's like the most crushing internal, like, oh, damn. Like, but when you win, you're just kind of happy. You're just, oh, that's cool. That's good. But, when you hit that big loss, man, it's like the world, comes down on you. And the funny thing is, all of that emotion and all of this uh, dopamine that you're getting from the possibility of winning, um, guess who's creating that? You are. The market doesn't care if you're crying. Like, it doesn't care if you are slightly happy that you made a right decision, right? It doesn't matter. So again, here's the thing, man. Who am I to tell you anything, right? And why am I telling you this? Go proactively learn about this shit. Like, go out and proactive. Don't wait for, Nicholas to bring this mentalist Wayne Hoffman on the show. Like, and it just, wow, I suddenly happen to be fed this information randomly. It's cool, right? I hope you're learning something and vibing and tracking with what we're saying. But, like, go and proactively learn about this stuff. I can talk about dopamine and confirmation bias and loss aversion and all these things. You literally have a machine that you carry around in your pocket every living second of your day that has all the information of all the world. You are a superhero. Like, you are basically Superman, Batman, super brain person, and you have access to this mega tool, this amazing thing. Dude, just open your phone and get on it. Loss aversion, confirmation bias, revenge trading, ego, brain traps, the gambler's fallacy, and rock it.
I like it. I like it a lot. And a really good analogy there at the top as well. I gotta say, man, your analogies hit so perfectly. The commentary on, oh yay, I won, cool, dope, on to the next one. That is so relevant to trading and this show. I've actually had to, because I mean, it's a show. We're entertainment and education and trading. It's all in there, but I would say, have leaned a lot further toward the entertainment side of things. And man, when I take a win on the show, for the first couple of months, it was so dull. It was like it didn't even happen. I was just like, all right, sick. And so I've been trying to bring back my theater kid and be a little bit more performative without overdoing it. Because I don't. Something we're very strict on the show is when we lose, you fucking see it. Like, we're not, everybody on online finance, online trading, it's all full of people just spamming wins, spamming massive wins. It's like, that's not real. None of that's real. People lose. They're just not telling you. So you can see us lose every time. And I've gotten a lot better at just being like, oh, well, that sucks. I'll wait for the next setup. But it still stings a little bit. Like you said, people don't like being wrong. And some of us more than others do not like being wrong. But no, really, really good points. I'll take like a $250 trade. We'll be really excited about it for about half a second. And then we're just interrupting each other and doing dumb shit again for the next hour and a half.
Yeah. And you know what? Let me touch on this, because, like, for if you're looking at total brain health, right, to maximize not yourself as a trader, but yourself as a human, one of the number one thing, and that's a bold statement, number one thing, right? Like, list them all. Number one thing, bro, is gratitude, right? When you wake up in the morning, I suggest you just, before you touch your phone and roll over and open your Instagram, right, to get your dopamine hit, right? Before you do all that, sit there with your eyes closed and think of 3 things you're grateful for. I don't care if it's like the cracker you ate last night or like, the fact that you're laying on a comfy pillow, right? Think of 3 things you're grateful for. And then when you hit those wins, bro, consciously think about it. Don't just let it kind of happen. Just be like, not, oh, sick, and then move on. Go, I was just able to essentially make money by magic. Like, you know what I mean? Like, money has now like magically appeared in my possession. When you were a kid and you were walking down the sidewalk, right? And you found a $5 bill.
Oh,
Do you
man.
remember, bro? Do you remember, like, dude, if you found anything more than a 5, put it this way, if you found paper money, bro,
Fucking lottery, man.
dude, it was like the most exciting thing. And now what happens is this, it's hedonic adaptation. We get used to like these wins where the emotional connection to it fades away. I say this, take time to reconnect with the childlike sense of wonder you had when it comes to trading. Look at a win and go, bro, if I found this money on the street as like a 5-year-old or a 10-year-old or whatever, I would lose my mind. I would be screaming and physically jumping in the air at how excited I was, right? And going back to that, I think is key. The whole game is emotions, connecting with them in positive ways and learning how to manage the negative ones, because you can't get rid of the negative ones. That's a joke.
Yeah.
If you're playing that game, you already lost. And emotions, think of it, this is important to say. Emotions are information, they're not instructions, right? So if you have an emotion, that's information, but that's not telling you to now revenge trade. That those aren't instructions. So bridging that gap and having that buffer and that information and the system in place to go from the emotion to now what is the instruction or the action I should take, I think that's important. Discipline, generally speaking, is easy until money and emotion get together and collide. Do you know what I'm saying? So creating those systems and habits and discipline is what it's all about.
Yeah, and just piggybacking that a little bit, one of my favorite concepts kind of stems from a lot of Eastern religions and Buddhism, in that you can't control what happens and you can't control the emotions that come, but you can control how you react to them. And that resonates with me, even though I don't abide by it on a pretty regular basis. But I really like that idea, and I will say back when I did yoga daily, just the meditation aspect. Of course, it was great for my body too, because I have all sorts of sports injuries. Got jumped in New York City a couple of times. Got injuries from that are lasting. Don't recommend it, by the way. Don't do that. Don't mouth off to people you don't know in a dark Brooklyn alley, if you were wondering. Don't do that. But no, it's a really good idea, and it takes time and practice and being honest with yourself to lock in on that. But the more you do it, the more easily it comes to kind of observe your emotions and let them pass, rather than sit and dwell on that shit. And there's a guy on the Unusual Whales team who's in our data section. You guys know him, Dan Wagner, who did a lot of like our volatility write-ups and videos. Something he really grills is that when you lose, just acknowledge it. Take about 5-10 minutes to reflect on it. Maybe beat yourself up a little if you lost doing something you shouldn't have, and then move on. Because dwelling on it's not going to help. It's just going to make shit worse.
Yeah, and what you just said right there, as you might not label it this, but that's a system. You've just implemented a system for controlling emotions at the simplest level. Sometimes the simplest is the most powerful. But like not having that, that's where you get in trouble, man. You can't do it. You can't just be a human with emotions kind of playing with capital. Like, no, what are you doing, bro? You need systems in place and discipline and habits. And the way you get them is learning, reading, watching videos, consuming, and then also taking the time to sit in silence. You know?
Love it. It's hard. Like we were saying earlier, it is hard to sit in silence for a prolonged period of time. One thing that the guy that got me into yoga was a college professor, who pretty easily and quickly noticed my antsiness. He was like, "Hey, let's settle your mind down, get you a little zoned in. Come to yoga with us." And I did, and I you know, I'll do a little bit of meditation here and there now, but I'm nowhere near as diligent as I was back in the day. Working on it very, very slowly, but it definitely helped me regulate the mood swings I have just from the bipolar. It helped me regulate the stress I have because I've always been like a caregiver for family and stuff like that. And in a lot of regards, it helped me manage the stress that came with that. And it didn't really fix the insomnia, but it made my restfulness more rewarding. Even if I wasn't sleeping, I was still at rest, for lack of a better phrase. One of the things that he used to have us do is he would give everyone in the class a raisin and then tell us to chew it for a minute in silence, dead silence,
Wow.
and observe every texture, every flavor, the change in flavor and texture. And that was a pretty cool exercise to just slow the mind down and be aware. And I don't know how I would tell other people to do that. I'm not saying go buy a box of Sun-made raisins and stuff your mouth full of raisins and just gnaw on that mush for half an hour. But I think there's something to that when it comes to regulating your own mind.
Yeah, I think little exercises like that, basically, in that moment, you were being mindful. Now, not to get all woo-woo, but like mindfulness, dude, mindfulness is awesome, because you're present in the moment. It's funny because, when you're looking at trading, you're looking at what happened in the past, where's it going in the future, right? And you're looking at this, we'll call it math, right? But you as a human being, the past doesn't actually exist, and neither does the future. Those are electrical signals into your brain. Like the future, if you look up future, what does that mean? It is what happens after something is written or spoken in the moment of speaking or writing. What happened in the past? It's something that happened prior to the moment of speaking and writing. So, meaning you're kind of speaking and writing in the moment at all times. And I always say that, and this goes in, dude, we can go on a real hard left into manifestation, right? But like at the end of the day, if you don't, this is what I was saying about putting shit in your calendar right now. If you don't write it down, when you write it down, it is more likely to happen in the future if you actually commit to doing something in the present moment. But
Writing
which
it down's a
Tucker, do
great
you have
thing
the
to do.
incense? Do
Oh,
you have the
yeah.
incense? Yeah, because we're getting. Who has the gong and the incense and stuff. By the way, Tucker and Anthony look like
I'll
they're
make sure I'll go.
hacking. You guys look like you're hacking the mainframe this whole time.
Oh no, we
like,
definitely are. Yeah. I'm
dude,
making sure.
you're so locked in, dude.
I can't give you a read on me. I gotta sit here and
He's trying to be blank.
He knows he's gonna be a victim so much soon.
real quick, yes or no though, Wayne. Does being blank even fucking work with the stuff you
There
do?
is no such thing.
There's no such thing as blank.
It's like, what I like back in the OG days when you used to have film in a camera and you would have to develop the film. You back in what was it? I guess the 90s, 80s, 90s, you would take your film to a place and they would develop it and they would give you the negatives back with it and you could hold them up to the light, right? Not having any emotion sometimes is like seeing the negative of a photo. You can still see what's going on by what's missing.
Right.
The lack of normal interaction is often a bigger tell than actually reading something proactively happening or something that's said.
I'm just
So
gonna I wanted to, since you dated yourself a little bit there with the
oh yeah, totally. And you
with
know what? I was
with the
thinking,
analogy
damn, I'm
there.
old.
I wanted to point at something just to give you a little ribbing from back in the 2000s. Everything was a vibe in the 2000s. You had everybody doing the fisheye lens with the hands at the camera, like they're Goku shooting off a Kamehameha into the ether. You had a look for a while there, Wayne.
Oh
That
yeah,
you know exactly where this is going,
bro.
I
Let me
thought
tell you
for
what.
a second, I thought for a hot second when I was just showing Anthony, my girlfriend, who you were, I was like, oh man, bro really was going the Mike Shinoda route from Linkin Park there. You won't be able to see it, but I just got your white coat, the hair,
Oh yeah,
man.
bro.
Let me
Well, see,
switch this back
you
on
have to
here.
remember,
Absolutely beautiful.
I have to be. I am a. Uh, uh, I don't know what you want to call it. I am inserted into pop culture, right?
Right.
So I'm a product of the times. No, let me rephrase that. I created the times, man. So
Hey, at
like
least you looked really cool and didn't go the full blown Chris Angel route where it was just
no.
everything about the personality.
I tried to put on a shirt made of black netting, but it just didn't look good on me. You
Man,
know,
you missed it a
but
couple weeks ago. I had to do an entire trading session in a maid outfit, so I could feel that. I have to send you the clips from that earlier. It
is there a paywall for that?
Nope.
No.
I bet I ran a flash sale for our platform, and I said if enough people signed up, I'd do it. I expected them not to hit the goal, and they hit it within an hour while we were still live. I
Wow.
expected some messy shit in the chat, but it was mostly just thirsting. I was like, all right, hey man, I'll be the babe of the day.
Can't wait. Do they still make those calendars that you hang on the wall? Is
Oh,
that
Oh boy.
Oh,
That's hey, Wayne
some
just gave
things
me a,
never die, and human gooning will never die.
Wayne
Will
just
never.
gave me a really good idea. Nick, we'll have another flash sale, and then you'll have to do a calendar in the maid outfit.
Oh god.
why don't you
send that
do a flash sale once a month, have a new outfit. If they hit it, then you make the calendar. But they gotta hit it 12 months in a row.
The problem is,
he's
I know
sweating
it would sell.
right now.
I know it would sell.
You
too.
are
That's the
sweating
problem.
right now.
Well, shit, man. I think a lot of this was probably, for lack of a better word, just double back to the woo-woo. Probably pretty enlightening for a lot of folks. We touched on a lot of topics that I'd say Anthony and I, as traders for the better part of a decade now, both of us, had to experience the hard way. And you're not gonna just succeed. You're gonna fail in trading. It's gonna happen regardless. No matter what you do, no matter who you are, you're gonna fail. Period. It's inevitable. You will fail. But you don't have to fail as dramatically as we have. If you kind of take some of the advice Wayne gave, be a little bit more self-conscious of what you're doing, what you're thinking, reflect on actions you've taken and the result. That's why people really harp on journaling your trades. Why did I take that trade? Why did it work? Why didn't it work? How do I feel now after the trade? I suck at journaling, man. Like I'll pick it up, write some song lyrics or some shit, but actually journaling is something I'm bad at. I've never been able to keep a fucking planner. Like the amount of times that I tried to keep a planner in elementary and high school, that lasted 2 weeks and then gone. Never touched the damn thing again for the rest of the school year. But little notes. It can be one sentence. It doesn't have to be a novel. It doesn't have to be 3 paragraphs. It can be a couple of sentences of why you did what you did and how you feel about it. Don't learn that the hard way. The hard way is what I relapsed. I would use the word relapse because what I did in September, the rage trading, all of that is beginner shit that you know better if you've been doing it for a while. But you have to be aware when it starts to happen, and even in real time, I'm pretty emotionally aware. I know when my shit's fucky. I know damn well when I'm getting too giddy after winning. I'll even say it on the show. It's like I'm getting too hyper. I'm gonna lock the account. We're done with that one for the day. I knew in real time that I was fucking up. Did it stop me from fucking up? No. We don't have to all learn those lessons the hard way if we're prepared for them, or at least we can mitigate the severity of learning that lesson the hard way. And I wish I was a little bit more mindful in September of last year.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you speak the truth, man. And don't ignore pre-trade questions.
Mhm.
You know, before you go in. Why am I entering? Where am I wrong? What is my exit? Am I responding or reacting? You know, like before, during, and after. I think analyzing that and you know, giving yourself some more data to look at. You know, if you're a data nerd, bro, why don't you collect data on your emotions and your reactions to things?
That is a good
You know,
point.
it's the same thing, brother.
I know a
And
lot of you
it's, I
guys
think,
watching are
more
data nerds,
important.
otherwise you wouldn't be at this specific show. Nah,
But
beautifully
yeah,
said.
I think you nailed it.
So if you have time for it, you want to fuck with Anthony a little bit?
Oh no. Oh boy.
I mean, we've only just met. No, yeah, we can.
He's looking cute today, though. He's got that
we
fitted
can-
shirt. He's looking jacked.
Man, he does
Keyword
look
looking.
jacked.
Keyword looking.
So I'll flip this over to just be showing you and Anthony to the viewers, and then we will just let you take it away, man.
Okay.
Which one of these is there?
So-
We go.
So let's have some fun.
Oh boy.
There's so many things we could do, man. I always like to kind of do it on the fly. I vibe everybody out and then try to figure out what I think would be the thing to do. I did this. I don't know if it's gonna work. Cause like I haven't been able to read him enough. He's actually right. I didn't get the full read on him. I'm gonna try this, and you know what? Let's see if it works. So first of all,
I feel like that's a red herring statement, and now I'm concerned for Anthony.
I'm confident enough that I'm gonna try it. But truly, everything that I do is just an experiment because I'm dealing with people. You know,
Yeah, fair.
it's kind of like a chemistry experiment. I'm chemical A, he's chemical B, and I'm hoping for reaction C, but I don't know what his chemical is. You know what I mean? It's like I'm assuming it'll work, but let's just try it out. So I find myself dipping into a lot of industries, right? Like you know, I am not the CEO and owner of BlackRock, right? I am not the trade guru. But we're here jiving on this stuff because the psychology comes into play in pretty much any industry that you're in. And a few years ago, I was a keynote speaker for the AT&T Cybersecurity Conference. And they were like, "Oh yeah, you're going to speak, and then we're also having Tim Berners-Lee." And I was like, who's that? And I Google it, and it says inventor of the World Wide Web. And I'm like, oh wow, like what the hell am I doing speaking with this guy, right? Like,
Real
but
quick, sorry to interrupt. I just want to make it a little easier for you while you're doing your shtick with Anthony, and a little bit better for the audience as well. Anthony, go ahead and move your Zoom call to the same monitor your camera's mounted on. So when you're looking at Wayne, you're also looking at the audience.
Okay. All right.
He doesn't
I
want to do it. He's
suppose
so
I could do
nervous. Shaking.
yeah, do your thing and set it up, and I'll just keep kind of
Okay.
jiving.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, dude, you're screwed
boy.
now.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry, bro. That was it. Nicholas with the assist, bro. Oh my god, dude, night and day, night and day, night and day.
Oh, he's already
bro.
red. He's freaking out. Let's go,
Bro. Night and day.
I feel like he's staring into my soul right now. Like it's.
That's because I am. So here's what we're gonna do. I keep a passcode on my phone. I assume
no.
you do too.
Yes.
Yes.
Now,
yes.
now, Here's the thing. I'm not going to divulge any of your secret information out to like a ton of people listening and watching this. Don't worry. But I change my passcode. I wouldn't say daily. That would be an exaggeration. But I have a system in place where I change my passcode very regularly, partially because I do this. And I like it. I think it's awesome for security. But the thing is this. We don't know anything about each other. I don't know your passcode. You don't know mine. But I keep a passcode on my phone, right? Now, in fact, here, let me turn it on. I'll show the camera. Do me a favor. I want you to just name any random 6 digits. You don't have to memorize them. Don't make it anything important, like literally actually random. Go ahead.
Okay. Oh, you want me to say them out loud?
Yeah, just say it out loud.
Between any certain number?
No, like a 6-digit passcode.
Okay. Let's
Just like
let's do 8193
8193
377.
2 7s at the end.
Yeah.
Okay. So I just entered that in, and it did not unlock my phone. Right. I'm just for those that can actually see what's going on. I entered in the number. He said it didn't unlock my phone. The point is, you're not guessing my passcode. Like if you were to just guess that, unless you are an absolute miracle worker, right? You are not guessing the passcode. It's just not going to happen, right? Now, name just for fun, you can name if you want to. Do you want to name another one or no?
I can if you want me to.
Yeah, go. It's up to you. Go ahead.
Let's do 357
357
619.
619. Okay. And again, you can see it didn't unlock, right? Again, the point of this, and I gave you the option to try it again or not. We could just like keep doing this all day. You're not going to get into my phone, right? Now, what I want you to do is just look at me for a moment. Actually look at my face on the screen. Every single day, human beings are influenced by logos. There's a logo on your shirt and your underwear, your socks, your pants, your belt, your shoes, a hat. You know, as I look behind you, there's logos on jerseys behind you, right? You have logos for businesses. What are they trying to do? They're trying to implant thoughts into your mind. And it's logo recognition. Anthony, if I told you I was going to give you a free 100-inch TV and you could choose a Wang Chung TV or a Samsung, which one would you choose?
A Samsung.
Of course. But the thing is, notice he didn't ask anything about the functionality of the television. He didn't care that the Wang Chung TV will do your laundry. It'll do automatic trading where you win every single time and just never lose money, right? We could go on and on. But the point is, you've been influenced to make that decision based upon pretty much subliminal messaging, right? You might own a Samsung or whatever you might have, but I just want you to relax your mind for a moment and don't really even think of anything, but just keep your eyes open. And I just want you to name a 3-digit number right now. And I'm going to enter it into my phone. So whatever you want.
Do you want me to say it out loud?
Yep, say it out loud.
Let's do 168.
My man. Now I'm going to keep my phone in full view this entire time. And before we go any further, I just want to let you know that I changed my passcode this morning. And I set it up to a number. And I'm not going to say any more than that, but I just want you to now clear your mind, just totally just zone out and say another 3-digit number now, 0 through 9. Go ahead.
Let's do 726.
You sure on that last one?
Yeah.
Right on the money.
Bro, what?
And for
What?
those that are listening and can't see, I was able to influence him and get him to say the number that I set my passcode to, and he just unlocked my phone. So that's a good start. If we can get there, then we can do something else. Now I look at him. He's like he's going through his brain like I see the
and like the thing is, I took my time there to like just do a random. Okay.
Yes. and
Okay.
and we all say that, bro. Like we all say that. It feels that way. Again, that's the whole thing. What you feel and what's actually happening. You have to remember one thing. I have spent my entire life interacting with some of the most intelligent people in the world. And time again, what I have shown is the human mind is a son of a bitch. And there are trap doors and there are ways to shift perspective. I mean, to list all of the things I utilize would in this podcast, in this interview, whatever you want to call it, is like not possible. And people always ask me, how do you do it? And they want me to give them an answer. But I can't. I always say it's like asking a contractor who builds houses, asking them, hey, what tool do you use to build a house? You can't answer the question. It depends on the specific moment, who you're dealing with. You know, is it a screwdriver? Is it an excavator? Like it's totally different depending on the moment. So I'm going to try one more with you, and we'll see if it works. I want you to totally zone out, totally kind of relax your mind. Do you have a phone? Do you have a phone with you?
I do. Yeah. I got
Okay,
it.
sweet.
Yeah.
Sweet. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to type, I'll put it in I'll put it in the chat here. You have access to the Zoom chat?
Yeah, just hover over and click the chat button, Anthony.
I'm looking for my chat button.
Here, hang on.
Oh, there we go. I got it. Okay.
All right.
Tucker, send me a screenshot of what happens because I can't open it.
I got it.
Okay, hang on. Here's what I want you to do. I'm gonna give you this site, Anthony.
Oh, the Zoom chat.
And just so you don't think there's anything like through the computer, I want you to do it on your phone so you know it's like I'm not like hacking the mainframe or whatever. I want you to type that in. You can go to your web browser and go on there. And for everybody that's listening, what it does is it shows you how many. It's a live count of how many. You can calculate how many words there are at any given moment. You can do this for a lot of different stuff, like how many articles are on Google and stuff like that. It'll tell you how many things are on like Wikipedia. So let me know when you have that up on your phone.
I got it up. Okay.
So
would you like to see it? Would you like to see it?
No. It doesn't.
Oh, okay.
No, you're fine. You're fine. It doesn't matter. But like here's it. It'll tell you like how many articles are on Wikipedia and like even approximately how many words per article there are on any given site. The last time I checked, it was like 7 million approximately or something like that. I forget what it was. But underneath that, it'll even tell you how many words per article there are. How many words per article are there?
I should scroll down. Let's see. I can show this. I can show it if you want.
Yeah.
It's not gonna ruin the trick.
7.2 milli, baby.
That's how many I think articles there are, but underneath it'll even tell you how many words per article there are. It's a smaller number. I think I'm doing it from memory. It's like the underneath the big number.
1,640.
Okay. So we don't have to do exact math. But I have my calculator. So I'm doing 1640 times approximately how was it 7.2 million?
7.2 million.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll do 7.2 million. So if you multiply the articles times the words, it tells you how many the average. It tells you how many words total there are. So right now there's about 11.8 billion words on there. That's a live count. Now, again, I'm doing this from memory. I think if you scroll down, it'll say visit Wikipedia.
Yep.
Tap that. And then I think it's the upper right-hand corner. You're going to get a little magnifying glass in the upper right corner. Tap the magnifying glass. Now, this part, I don't want you to show the camera because I don't want anybody to know this but you. This is for your brain only. I want you to think of something that would have a Wikipedia article on it, like literally anything in the universe, like potassium, Kobe Bryant, wine,
Dimethyltryptamine.
yeah, whatever, man, like mechanical elves. I don't care. Whatever like suits your, it could be the most random thing like broccoli, or it could be important to you. Try not to pick something obvious, like
Okay.
trading. But like, like it's kind of something that would have an article, but is kind of no one would just assume about you. Type it in there, click the magnifying glass, type it in and click search so that the article comes up. And when the article pops up, I want you to do this. Hold it so no one can see. All right. In a moment, I am going to have you scroll through the article. You're going to skip any pictures. If there's photos, like just scroll past them. You're going to stop somewhere in the middle of the article. And I have to get rid of human bias. We know bias exists. You're going to be more attracted to one word over another. So I'm going to eliminate that using time. I'm only going to give you maybe 6-7 seconds to find a random word within that article. And you can pick any word that you want. It's totally like scroll anywhere you want, stop, very quickly grab a word. It's like super fast. But don't make it a word that's directly related to the article. You know what I'm saying? Don't make it like a really random word, and don't pick the word the. Do you know what I'm saying? Make it like if you can find a word that's at least 6, 7, 8 maybe letters or more, awesome. And you don't have to go for the longest word you see or the first word, but like, a meaty word that's not related directly to the article. You got it?
Yep.
So you're going to only have maybe 6 or 7 seconds to find a random word. Are you ready?
Yep.
All right. Open up that article, quickly scroll down into the middle of it. I'm going to give 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now go like this. Now, yes or no, did you see words?
I did, yes.
Okay, and did you see did you find a word?
Yes.
Okay. Click your phone off. Like turn the screen off.
Yep, it's off.
And I want you to think of whatever it is. Now, even if I were looking over your shoulder at all the words you could see, there's no way I could know where your eyes went exactly. Like you scrolled through how many words on average were there? Like wasn't that 1,500, 1,600, 26, whatever it was?
Big page.
Yeah. So even if I was like looking with you, there's no way I could know what you calculated in your brain. You can put your phone face down. Now, I want you to think of the word. Now, if you would have looked one word to the left, one word to the right, you'd be thinking of a completely different word, right? Whatever it is, just think of it. Now, look right at your camera lens. All right, right away. It's interesting. Did you almost choose a different word?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm getting letters from both words, which is crazy because I see the flip-flop in your brain. Now the problem is I'm going to get letters from both words, so they're going to kind of jumble up. Just concentrate on just the one you ended on. Okay, I'm still getting 2 letters, which means it could be the first 2 letters of the word you actually ended on, or it could be maybe the first letter of each word. I'm going to write this down. First of all, it doesn't start with the letter R, does it?
No.
Okay, good. Because that was like the 3rd letter. I'm like, if it's that, then I'm wasting my time. I'm going to write down the 2 letters that I got, and we're going to see if I'm on the right track. So for the first time, what was just the first letter of the word?
It was N.
N, because I got N-U out of your mind. Keep going. Now you can see the look on his face. Dude, the tension in his face is like writing books right now.
Oh, man.
I know. It feels weird, right? Bro. I also get a letter M. Dude, he's getting flush, bro. He's freaking out right now.
Oh, man.
Because this is wild, bro. I'm getting so much from your brain. This is so crazy. All right, bro. So check it out. I have out of what did we calculate? It was like something like 17 billion words you could have chosen from. So it's essentially I have a 1 in 17 billion chance of getting this, but I have written a word on this card. And in a moment, I'm going to turn it around and show you the word that I got by reading you. And here's how we'll do it so it's fair. On the count of 3, I'll count to 3, and then I will turn this around. And at the same exact time, I want you to tell us out loud what word you were thinking of. And we'll see if it matches and if it's right. Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
1, 2, 3.
Numerous. Bro.
Like that?
What the fuck?
I got it right on the money. For those listening, the card says numerous. Yeah. Now, here's the deal. You thought of this out of what, billions of words, like a random, I assume that's meaningless to you, right? You just kind of like picked it randomly, but you thought of this based upon, like, you went on the internet and found a website that had information on a particular topic and chose this word randomly. Out of curiosity, what was the general topic about? I said you could choose like Kobe Bryant, broccoli, mechanical elves. Like you could have literally thought of anything, but like what thought did you choose to go with?
I went with something I really like, or
Okay.
if I don't person and or object. I won't say what. 'cause I
Right.
want me to
So
know.
let me
for
ask you a
sure.
question. Let me ask you a question, brother. If I told you that there is a very, very, very distinct connection between trading and me being a mentalist and what I do, and that is the object essentially is to predict the future. And if I told you that I spent the past 34 years of my life doing it, and not only have I done that, but this morning when I woke up, I knew what you were going to think of before you thought of it today. And if I told you that I wrote it on the inside of this card, would you believe me?
I think it would be more creeped out about myself if you're right about it.
So how about this? Same thing on the count of 3, you say it, and I'm going to open this card and we'll see where we stand. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3.
Tom Brady, bro.
Nailed it. Tom Brady right there. The GOAT, bro.
And that's why I picked numerous too, because numerous championships.
Yeah. The GOAT.
What?
Yeah. So there you go, fellas. There's a little I guess finale for you on that. And thank you, Nicholas, with the slow clap in the background.
I love watching Anthony suffer. It gives me so much joy.
Well, it's up here again, going back to what we said now. He's got to take that emotion he's feeling, and then he's got to determine what it is. Is it suffering? Is it joy? How's he going to handle this? Bro, the human mind.
I think it's confusion right now. I think it's confusion right now.
Yeah. So, well, first of all, bro, let me thank you for interacting with me and letting me do that, man.
Thanks for doing it.
I can't read minds unless someone else helps me. Like Nicholas, he has got a guitar behind him. He could go and do that, in a room alone. I can't do what I do alone. I need another human to work with me, and I appreciate you jiving.
Yeah,
sure
that
shit
was.
So
I don't know, man. That's insane. That's crazy.
Cool. Well, at minimum, I hope it was entertaining.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was insane.
Bro, when you had him switch that camera, That was the best
And-
moment
and-
of my life.
And that's why I initially did not move the Zoom here, because I was like, then I'm gonna face the camera and I know he's getting a read.
Bro, that was like gold.
Yeah, I'm not letting you hide from shit, Anthony. Win or lose, baby. Now we.
Meanwhile,
sure
Tucker is over here trading. He made $47 million in the last few minutes. But he's containing his emotions, and he's I love it.
No, man,
so
this
yeah.
is- Go ahead.
I don't know. At this point, I don't know what to say. Ta-da!
A quick round of applause, everyone, for my beautiful assistant, Anthony. Oh, man, we should have done this shit on the maid day and make Anthony wear the maid outfit so he's even more uncomfortable with the scenario. But nah,
Dude,
man.
you know what? I wonder if I could have read him in a maid outfit, or if I'd be too distracted
Yeah.
by just the overwhelming beauty I would be experiencing.
Oh, man, in any of the clips of that eepisode, Anthony definitely didn't trade that episode. He was very distracted by the video monitor. Nah, man, I don't think anyone's gonna see an episode quite like this for what's predominantly fucking around and trading. This was the most fun I think we've had on the show in a hot minute,
easily.
if ever.
Easily.
Well, thanks, guys.
I
Hey,
don't
listen,
even know how to wrap
I
it up,
appreciate it.
man.
Yeah, I don't know how to wrap it up either. I'll be honest, I'm not like naive to what I do, because sometimes even I'm still amazed. Like, bro, every time they say a word and I have it written as a prediction, or if I truly, genuinely have abso-freaking-lutely no idea if I'm right. The only time I know I'm 100% correct is when they say it. We could all put in a guess of what we think Anthony's thinking, right? But we won't know until he says it. So like, I get jazzed too. Like, it's freaky. It's awesome. So yeah, where do you go from there?
I don't even know, man.
I do have a random question for you. How many people have you had actually like lie to you about?
Oh, a lot, bro.
Oh, and I
A
guarantee you
lot.
can
So
tell
many.
too.
So
Hit
many.
him
But-
with that cold reading 101. You can tell if they're lying to you.
So here's the thing. I'll tell you, and this, we can tie it back to what we were talking about earlier too, which is great. When I first got into this, right, and I was really trying to really do it, I was about 16, and I was doing a show. I did my first paying show when I was 15. And you have to remember, folks, how I make my money is people that work for companies. They'll see a clip like this, and then they'll call the person in charge of planning their annual event and say, hey, I saw this guy, you should hire him to do a show. So like, doing shows and doing my keynote speech is like how I earn my money. And it started when I was 15, first paying gig. A year later, like, I'm doing my show, right? Again, how I'm earning my living. I had a guy come up. I said, think of a word. He thought of a word, and I wrote down a word on a dry erase board. And I turned it around and I said, are you thinking of this? And he went, no. and I'm like, I was like, just demolished. I'm like, damn, I thought that's what he was thinking. So after he goes and he sits down, I forget what I did. I might have done another experiment with him and then it worked or whatever. But anyway, the guy sits down, and after the show, I'm packing up and some dude comes up to me and he goes, hey man, great show. He goes, hey, remember the dude that came up and you thought you had his word and he said you were wrong? He goes, well, he was sitting next to me, and when he sat back down, he turned to me and he goes, he was actually right. And I'm like, oh, you ass. Like, and so you'll notice that I had you say it and me turn it around at the same time. And that has now pretty much eliminated people lying to me, or it gives me a better opportunity for everything to be fair. But bro, people are liars, bro. That's one thing in studying the human mind, and again, all facets of it. The most, not maybe the most, but one of the most surprising things is how often people lie, like about stupid stuff. Like, hey man, where'd you get your shirt? Oh, I got it at, whatever, Saks Fifth Avenue. And dude, you got that shit at Walmart. Like, who cares? I just wanted to know where you got your shirt. You don't have to flex on me or anything. So yeah, a lot to answer your question. Yeah, a lot. People try to like, cheat the system and make moves. But again, that's part of being human.
Even to yourself, man. That's why we
Ah.
harped during the psychology segment, harped on being honest with yourself. The life lie, baby. Alfred Alder, Henrik Ibsen.
True.
You're lying to yourself
Preach.
all day, every day too, dude. I do it relentlessly, and when I catch myself, I'm like, that's actually not real.
Yeah.
Shit, man. I really don't know where to go from here. That was fucking great.
That was crazy, man.
Yeah,
That
well,
was-
I don't know how to close it out either, but I'll tell you what, beyond this, listen, I really, the reason I wanted to come on and jive with you guys today is
And again,
because
real quick, he mentioned he makes his living off of appearances and shit like this. He did this for nothing, out of the goodness of his heart, out of a desire to fuck with Anthony. And so obviously,
Yeah, that's why he agreed.
but go ahead, specifically the
just-
Anthony thing. Yeah.
I was just saying, like, I just wanted to help people. Like, I wanted to come on, and I think it's important for people, if I can, like, in the wacky land that I have lived in and the weird shit that I've learned, if I can help somebody, and if I can help your listeners and your viewers or you guys, if I can help anybody that's listening to this today about the importance of understanding the psychology of money and understanding the intersection between the human mind and trading and what you guys are doing, that's the end goal. So, if anybody has any follow-up questions, or like you need advice on a particular thing, or you have a problem, I'm not a master trader, I'm not a therapist, but I have very specific knowledge that can help people. Like, I'm a real person. So you can, if you go and try to find me, if you type in Wayne Hoffman, you will have no problem reaching me. And yeah, man, shoot me an email or a DM and say, hey, whatever your question is, and any way I can help, I'm all for it.
Well, on that note, where can people find you? You've obviously got your own website. You've got the socials that you manage. Where can people find you and more of this? Because I guarantee.
Yeah.
That's the
Oh,
most
yeah. You
fun
know
our
what?
audience
I
has
think-
had in a minute.
I think the biggest value for people, if you just want to see me do crazy shit, like you saw a little sample, but if you want to see the real deal, I have clips of me on America's Got Talent and Masters of Illusion and Penn and Teller's Fool Us. If you go to my
Foolus one's
YouTube,
really good, folks.
Oh,
Foolus
dude,
one's
that was
really good.
I
That
was-
one is
I-
pure mind fuckery. And,
Dude.
and there, if you make Penn and Teller make those faces, you're a fucking goat. I'm sorry. There's nothing else. You are top notch at what you do to get the expressions he got out of those two men.
Yeah, dude, that was like, again, I'm living in gratitude. That was an awesome moment. But yeah, there's
It's gotta
clips on
feel great
YouTube.
when like the giants of an entire thing and multiple facets of that thing are like, we have no fucking clue. That's gotta
Dude.
feel awesome.
Dude, bro, the best. It's like finding a $5 bill on the ground when you're a little kid. You're just screaming on the inside, man. Like, honestly, and when you watch the clip of Fool Us, and again, if you want to find it, just jump on YouTube, type Wayne Hoffman. It's Hoffman, and Fool Us. You'll see it. There's a moment when they say, you fooled us, and they drop the trophy from the ceiling. You'll see a moment of shock because I forgot that you can quote unquote win. I was just trying to make the thing that I was doing actually work. Like, it was so complex and so beyond what any human could ever possibly imagine. And the psychology of what I was doing was so mind-boggling that, and let me give your listeners a quick, if you know the show, basically magicians and mentalists go on the show, Penn and Teller, who are famous magicians, watch you do some type of performance, and you have to try to fool them. They have all the knowledge of everything ever in magic history, and you try to fool them. If you do, you win a trophy, and you get to perform with them in Vegas at the Rio in their show. So that's the setup. So what they do is they have a middle person who is a magician, a liaison, that you have to share how you actually do it. Going back to Anthony's question about how many people lie, because if they say how they think it's done, you could just be like, nope. and lie. So you have to tell a magician as the middleman. And what they do is they stand next to the people in the control booth and they listen to what Penn and Teller are saying of how they think it's done. And then that magician will go, no, they're on the wrong track. Get the trophy ready to lower it from the ceiling. Or no, they figured it out. That's so you don't have to lower the trophy. So I told the guy how I was planning on pulling this off and the psychology behind it. And the guy goes, dude, you're nuts. He's like, are you crazy? He goes, this could not work, right? There's a high chance that like it won't even work. And I'm like, I'm doing it anyway. And so, yeah, when you watch it, you'll see the moment where I realize, oh, wait, I can win too, not just make it happen. But yeah, man, to answer the question, if people want to find me, I'm on YouTube. I'm on Instagram. If you search Wayne Hoffman, the TikTok's Wayne Hoffman 99. But if you go to my website, waynehoffman.com, all the information's there and all the links. And thanks for bringing that up. I don't really like plugging my stuff unless somebody asks.
Nah, plug away, dude. And don't downplay either. I've seen he also tours his motivational speech, The Power and Potential of the Human Mind. And a lot of the factors we touched on today directly applicable and completely relevant to basically all walks of life. And so it's a really cool speech as well. Again, man, I can't thank you enough for coming on. This was a very special episode. It hit on a topic that I don't think a lot of even trader entertainers, be it CNN Money, Fox Business, anything, nobody talks about this shit. And I don't give a shit about your scalping strategy if you're not attuned to your brain and you're not obeying your own rules in the first place. Your strategy doesn't matter if you're not okay. And yeah, I mean, this was really glad. I'm really glad that you were so open to coming on. And it was almost really short notice. We unfortunately had conflicts, but I'm glad.
Hey, listen, it worked out. And just let me give you your flowers, man. Congratulations and bravo on bringing this topic to people.
Thank you.
Because this is the secret sauce. Like you're dishing the real deal out. Like if you can dish out the real stuff that really separates the masters of this arena versus the hobbyists, bro, then you're delivering value. So
I appreciate that, man. That means a lot.
Congrats.
We try to be as open as possible. I'm maybe a little too open for most people. It gives them a little uncomfortable.
There is one thing that I saw Wayne couldn't read, though, that was properly. He didn't read that. He's going to be a permanent host on our show now with us, too.
Let's go.
We'll talk later. If we end up with some kind of like recurring thing, I'm going to have a fucking heyday, man. Plus, I think, given the reaction from the audience, they're chatting way the fuck more than when I'm cracking jokes. That's for sure. This is going to open up the pathway for me to do more fun segments and shit in general. And so this was a damn good place to start. Wayne, I appreciate you. Guys, Wayne Hoffman everywhere. YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok was Wayne Hoffman 99. It was a great time, man. I really appreciate you coming. And I hope we can maybe do this again sometime.
Hey, it was my pleasure. And go win. Go crush it.
Go win, baby. All right, folks, we're going to get the hell out of your hair and send you guys into your afternoon with a very, very red-faced and confused Anthony. Loving his entire day, Tucker. Wayne's just self-appreciative, looking glorious and glowing in his spectral space office there. And we'll see you guys. I
still have a cold that I'm getting over, but I'm
we noticed. I'm glad
I'm looking good. But man, oh man. I'm trying not to sneeze and cough all over this microphone. I'm dying on the inside.
Nothing like the crackle of snot right on the grill of the microphone.
Yeah. I avoided snot on the microphone.
All right, folks, we'll be back again Friday morning, even though Fridays is definitely going to be a little less entertaining than today. If you came in later, you missed any of this, don't worry about it. We're going to get this entire segment cleaned up and released individually, both on our newsletter, where most of you will probably see it, and on YouTube per usual. Wayne, again, thank you so much, man. I look forward to chatting in the future. And I hope you have a great rest of your week, man. I hope it's a busy one in a good way.
Right back at you, brother. You guys take it easy.
You too.
Thank
man.
you.
Take
Thank you.
care,
Have a good
everybody.
one.
Take
We'll
care.
see you again Friday
Thanks, Mike.
morning.
Yep. See ya.